Alright guys, BLM here, back another live stream. We're fucking doing this. Fucking extra stream just to get the fucking player ranking done. Um, let's see if anyone shows up. Which generally doesn't really matter if anyone shows up. But yeah, I need to get this done. That's literally the only reason I'm here. I have been busy most of the day. I haven't really gotten, like, much of anything actually done throughout the day on the channel outside this, so that's something. Okay, again, just getting stream up. Forgot I was doing this. Yeah, I know. I'm fucking gonna be miserable. Yeah. Why am I streaming to finish the fucking player ranking at some point in my life? No ad? Well, that's good. It's not like I make much money from this anyway. How am I doing on this fine Monday night? I am existing. Today's been a day where I've been busy for almost all of it. I just watched the Big Brother episode like 2 hours or 3 hours ago. And what got like minor work done on the Big Brother Hall of Fame video. Outside that, yeah, just haven't really gotten too much time today. Writing a dissertation on how Nicole Franzel played the best mixed returning newbie game. Sure, you can say that. But yeah, I'm here to do this. I'm possibly gonna stream every day until this is done. We'll see. Again, I'm not gonna like guarantee that because like some days I probably just won't feel like streaming. But like, I do need this done. Like, I have 3 videos that I'm currently making. That once those are done, the next project is this. So yeah, I need to have this done. We're only a third of the way through the final fucking phase somehow. It's just so fucking stupid. Like we've been doing this for 5 streams already, and we're only a third of the way through the final phase. Which to be fair, I ended early last night. Like because I was so fucking tired. I was like, well, I'm gonna be here tomorrow anyway, but like still. We don't want to go with the 3 noms. Really, I don't want any of them to go. Is like the tough thing. I think Jason would be the funnier option, just because it's like that would mean that like my top 2 from preseason were the first 2 boots of the season. I think most entertainment might be Melody actually. Which, like, I like Melody, and I do think she's, like, kind of like a scrappy player and everything, but, like, I think that probably causes the most, like, divide. Because, like, I feel like Jason, and, like, too fair, Jason has his backers, too, but, like, Jason also is, like, someone that, I think he's pretty dead after this. Rome is someone that, like, obviously he has, like, the ability to fight back against the vets and everything. Like, Melody is someone that, like, I think, like, you take out Melody, that causes, like, a fractured Drew. And it's like, I don't know, that could lead to a little bit more intrigue. Yeah, I did watch the stock watch. That's something I did see, too. Rome Ghost is getting called back. I don't know about that. I mean, like, how many, like, early boots have ever been called back in the history of the show? It's really just, what, like, David and Davon? Like, is there another? I guess Jace, if you're concerned. But even he was, like, 5th, like, he was the 5th boot. But yeah, like, they don't bring back that many people that early. I feel like they love Rome. I don't know if they do. I think they like Rome, but I don't know if they love him more than, like, how much they love, like, Matt Hardman during BB26 or something. Like, I think they like him, but just, like, I don't think it's to the point where, like, they're gonna, like, automatically bring him back, like, next season or something. It's like they always, like that sort of, like, archetype. Like, we kind of have, like, one of these, like, every season. So it's like, I feel like it's more likely to just bring back Keanu than they bring back Rome, for, like, next season. If Rome goes out in this spot, obviously. Don't get the idea behind this move? I don't either. I think it's dumb. Feels like a modern Brent. I don't know if Brent. I think he's like a modern, maybe like Nick Uhas, maybe? I don't know. Peanut Stock Watch ratings. I don't know, like most of them were fine. I mean, like I probably would have. Actually, no. I think most of them were fine. I can't think of one right away that's like. I mean, maybe like I would have Drew like slightly higher because I think he a 5 or 6. I would have him 6. Anyway, yeah. So I guess he is also a decent comparison. When we were returning to using the veto on Lyric, he was a 6. Okay. Yeah. I think Spicy will do him Trace Canada probably poorly, but it'll probably be fun. Wouldn't be shocked if she's a traitor. But yeah, we'll be a mess. Haley being 4 was random. I mean, I think Haley's on the upswing. Like, yeah, she's still a big target, but like she also is in the alliance that has the most like power right now. Sort of that alliance continues to steamroll the game. Like she's not in like a horrible spot. So it's like I don't know. I would have been between 3 and 4. Like I don't think it's egregious to have her at 4. I probably would have gone 3 though. Bam. Fuck me, dude. Okay. Are we starting? Okay, actually, I don't even remember if I didn't. I don't even think I checked. Did I? If there were comments, I don't think there were. But I'll just double check anyway. Okay, cool. Shut the fuck up. I play the stock watch this time. I'll be honest. I just don't care. In general, like I there's something like I don't know what the right way to say this is, but I feel like I care less about things like that nowadays. Like I feel like I care less about like a lot more of like the niche like thing. I don't know. I don't know how to actually describe it, but there's stuff like that I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. Like I don't feel like playing anymore. Quebec 5 be blood versus water. I mean, like I assume with newbies, right? But it's like, I think that's bad. But okay. Like I don't think blood versus water is a good theme, like for newbies in particular. So it's like I don't know. Generally, I forgot I even had a video that came out today. But yeah, so no comments. So that's fine. So I would just bore him because one player gets a good ring to start, and then people just snowball their money on that person. Kind of. I think there's like, I mean, there's points where like you can make more, especially like further into the season, where you can make more money on like a player going up from like a 4 to 6, and like there's sometimes like decent swings like that. Like I remember during BBCan 9, I did like BBCan 9's the one season that I did like super well in. And part of that was because like I went like all in on Brayden one time, that like where he went up from like a 4 to like a 7 or something like that. There's definitely like times where there's like good buys like that, but yeah, definitely the system of like it benefits you picking people that like consistently do well. It definitely like, yeah, it makes it obviously better if you do pick people that are on the higher end of things. D went down, which seemed like the safe option. What are we talking about? Like D on the power. I agree with D going down. I mean, like D went down. I mean, like D started at a 9, which I think was like kind of the worst. Like I think D is someone that I would not have bet money on with her starting at a 9. Like her starting at a 9 is just kind of insane. Because like there's no room for growth there. Like it's like how likely is it that D is gonna be a 10? Like following this, like that's fairly unlikely. Like I think the best bet is like to go on like someone that's like a 6 or 7, 6, 7. Then like, but pick someone that like will consistently stay that. Oh, is Tyshawn? Does Tyshawn know like French and everything? DPG lower than a 7. She got snowed by lyrics so bad. Yeah, I would probably lean 6 personally for D. Oh, is he from Montreal? I mean, that would be fun. When on Drew, he gained $10. Did he go from 6 to 6, or what did he do? But yeah, again, we'll start the player ranking. I'll still answer some questions along the way, but yeah, this is the main reason I'm here, because we still have fucking 501 players to go through, which is still insane. But we got to the yellow. We got to yellow players. That's something. Okay, wait, how do I want to do this actually? Dude, I'm a fucking idiot. How the fuck do I normally do this? I generally don't remember where I normally put my phone. Whatever. Yeah, we're on to this tier. Fucking the shit post mergers, essentially. What, Christy Smith, Karen, Bruce Kenegai, Karishma, Venus, and Christina Mills. What iconic group. Which, yeah, I think we're starting to get to this level. Okay, cool. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, these were the players that were also, like, at least went to a lot of tribals. He's what, Leaf? What was Leaf? Leaf was like, he went to 7, right? I think Ryan went to 5, Say went to 5, Leaf went to 6, or something like that. Like, survive 6. And then Angela went to a lot, but she just, like, was in and out of the majority. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was, like, the breakdown of those. Like, Christy Smith, do I bother? Okay, maybe okay, I'll recount it just to double check. So Leaf went to 2 tribals pre-swap, was in the majority for both of them. Went to 1 tribal post-swap, but, like, would have gone to another one. But either way, was in the majority again. Then post-merge, goes to DeJonas, Michael, Jay vote out, and then so he went to 6, gets eliminated as 7th, 6, 7. And I think votes in the majority in 5 of them? Maybe 4. I don't remember if he votes out Michael. But, like, at least his first 4 tribals, he's in the majority. So, like, that's actually, like, an okay track record, despite the fact that he's a pretty shit player. You know what? I think I'll actually, like, write these numbers down just for the sake of it. So, like, and I guess with that, probably I should double check. What is it? Survivor, One World. Sure should be lower for being more confrontational, not that well positioned. Again, like, I think we're just in a spot where, like, criteria is just slightly different. Or, like, I do think Sharia is, like, again, yeah, she is a confrontational player and all that sort of stuff, but I think at this point we're factoring more so, like, how their games actually went more so than, like, potential. Where it's like, she is still in a spot where she goes to, what, 3... She survives 3 tribals in the pre-merge. It's not 100% known she would have gone next, and then gets taken out after swap, where she was pretty, like, dead to rights. Well, not dead to rights, because, like, it was her Frosty, but still, it's like, she was, like, in a spot where her side was on the bottom after swap, which is, like, more in line with these sort of players. When, like, the people below this are players that either, like, get taken out within their original groups, or do get to a swap, but at the swap they had more of a chance to stay than Sharia, or, like, they at least, like, weren't inherently on the bottom. So I just think based on the way that we're structuring the list currently, I think Sharia is still here. Yeah, what was it? One World. Yeah, I was just looking up Leaf. Leaf did vote out Michael, not that really. Oh, he didn't vote out Jonas. Oh, so that's like the opposite of what I was thinking. But either way, whatever. Not that it matters that much. Generally, it doesn't. But like, interesting. Okay. Ryan Medrano, he goes to 2 pre-swap tribals. Let's see. Okay, so wait, why do I have 7 here? Why did I bother writing 7? There's no point in writing that, right? Just because like obviously it's assumed that they get voted out with the tribal there. Yeah, okay, whatever. Ryan Medrano, votes correctly in one of the first 2 tribals, then merges, strives over Ellie, votes her out, strives over Dwight, votes him out. The other one, Janine, votes her out, and then gets voted out after that. So, yeah, it's like a 4 out of 5 record. Say is what? Say is goes to 3 tribals pre-swap. Votes out. Okay, well, like the last one's weird. I don't know if I even really consider that, but anyway, it's like technically was in the majority in terms of the 3rd round, in terms of how it started, but also wasn't like votes out. I don't know. Actually, that's a weird stretch because like even when she votes out Kevin, she's not really aware of what's going on there. She kind of like lucks into Kevin going home. I'll give her credit for like 2. I think it's like it's like she's technically in the majority for like all of them, but like it's kind of like a wonky majority. So like I'll give her 2 credit for 2 of them. Then she's survives over Bianca, but is on out of the loop there. Survives over Charity, does vote Charity out, and then goes home herself. So that's like a slightly worse record. Angela has. I'm doing just look. Okay, Angela has a lot, so I'm just gonna fucking look it up. It goes down there. Angela, let's see. Angela goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not even including this. So 11 tribals. It's like that's way more than like anyone else up to this point, I believe. I don't think there's a single person that's like. Actually, I think the 6 is the next highest up to this point. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she goes to 11 tribals, and she's in the know on 1, 2. I don't believe she was looped in on this. 3. 4 technically. Yeah, because she was part of a split, so 4. Oh no, it's not 11 tribals, it's 10 tribals. This is twice. Anyway. 4, 5, 6. So she has a 6 out of 10 record. Which is definitely very spotty. Okay, so I think now we can continue on with these people. So we got Christy Smith. We do see ones facing out the 6 and 7, sure. I don't even think that was intentional. Yeah, James was now at 10. Ryan had a path to make it far. Did he, though? I don't know. Like, if he did in a casty sort of way, but, like, I don't even know if he really did. I mean, I guess, to be fair, like, he did have, like, a good relationship with, like, Gabler. So, like, I don't know, maybe he could have been the, like, casty replacement. I don't know. Yeah, alright, Christy Smith. I'm just gonna fucking look it up. Again, it'll save more time doing it this way. So Christy, how also should I do this? Wait, maybe move this higher. Do this here. All right, Christy has what? She goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 tribals. That was purposeful. and then is involved in not that one. One, not that one. 2, 3, 4. Only 4. That's actually pretty bad. Like that's actually a pretty awful record. Week 27, week 1 or week 28. Probably 27, right? Yeah, 27. Like definitely 27 actually. Yeah, so that's a pretty bad record there. It's actually feeling more like Angela level, especially considering it's not like she was even in a majority group for a lot of it. So like I actually feel like that probably is bumping her down a tier to Angela, because I think these are people that at least like were in like majority groups at a point. Like Ryan was part of that fuck was the blue tribe on that season, whatever, the group that like voted out Dwight and Ellie and them at the merge. And then like Say was a part of the initial dude, the fucking tribes, Green Tribe on 48, or fuck that tribe is majority of that. And then Leaf was in like Leaf's, yeah, like actually Respect is just kind of the best of them, even though made some questionable plays. But yeah, like Christy versus Angela, I think Angela's better. Is kind of where my head's at right now, because like Angela at least like didn't get herself voted out. Actually, let's move these here for sake of see, I think Christy is worse than Angela, I think is what I'm currently feeling. But I still feel like still up. Like I think this is like kind of the point where like you still made it far, so I'll give you like this credit. Actually, what happened to like Jean Robert and them? Yeah, like he's like here, but I still think that's fine because like ultimately it's not like Jean Robert only went to like what, like 4 or 5 tribals or something. Like this is like obviously like a very like that's a big difference between someone like a Jean Robert. For what I get last night, I only did like 20 people. Like not much, and I was so dead last night. Like I was so tired, which played a factor into that too. Yeah, I'm a bit more fresh today, so that's something. Re-rank double evictions at some point. Don't know when. Okay, so yeah, that's fine for that. Karen, yeah, Karen probably actually has like a decent voting record. I think the problem with Karen is that she doesn't go to that many tribals because she doesn't go like to many pre-merge ones, but it's still like fine, right? Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 tribals. Does vote correctly all but her boot one. So like, that's pretty good. Like that's a perfect voting record until her boot. Like obviously in the issues, the fact that she's not really like an integral piece in any real alliance, but I feel like that's at least like this level. And like I think she is at least someone that does like I don't think she's the worst like strategic player in the world. Again, the problem is like having the influence to like do anything about it, but I feel like she's at least in this tier, and I might move her higher if we again like once we analyze these people more. Bruce Kenegai. Bruce Kenegai's not really that great, right? I think Bruce might be too high here. Obviously, he gets medevac, which like makes it so it's kind of weird, but like, I mean, I guess he's like not that like he's a 3 out of 4 record, so I guess it's like vote record wise, it's not the worst. But it's also a spot where like he's just kind of on the bottom of his group the entire time, and like he's a swing, but just like rides at the bottom of his group. It's like it's not like he's that good of a player. Which I mean, I guess to be fair, like so is Karen. Um, yeah, I guess actually, yeah, maybe it is kind of just the same thing. Like I think like part of it feels worse just because like he was left out of the loop of like the Bob Dog vote, but like I guess actually it probably shouldn't be that big of a difference. So maybe I do just put him in the same tier. Um, I'm debating if I keep these tiers together. You know, actually, I think I won't for now, and then I'll think about it more once we're through all the people. Cool. Wait, have I not been? Okay, dude, I'm fucking dumb. I forgot about like me having a copy up here too. Whatever. Hey, JD Knows TV. Again, obviously just here to rank players. Karen at least survived over Greg to where Bruce is out 7. Maybe. I mean, like things like I don't think we like fully know. Yeah, it's like, is he actually out at 7? I'm not like 100% sure on that. Like, I feel like he was on the bottom of his group, but like also he did have like Danielle. And I feel like Aris was just looked at as like a bigger threat, and it's like I think he had the least amount of social capital in his group. I'm not sure if he's like for sure gone, in that spot. Bruce and Karen went to one pre-merge tribal, likely don't survive a second. I think that's fair. I think Bruce, yeah, likely if they go to another tribal in the pre-merge, he probably is to boot there. But again, yeah, that's like kind of a parallel with Karen. Yeah, I think we'll deal with this. Like I'll run through these next 3 first, and then we'll dive deeper into where they actually should land. But I think tier wise, though, I think Karen and Bruce together does make sense. Karishma. Fuck's IY. There we go. Where is the voting chart? Okay. Dude, like she goes to so many tribals, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tribal. Oh no, 10 tribals. This is a tie. So yeah, 10 tribals, which is a pretty insane number, especially for an 8th placer. Survives or like is in the know of the Ronnie vote, the Vince vote, the Chelsea vote, the Tom vote. I don't know if I count this. I think I do. Like she's still in the majority. So really it's like she's in the right side of the vote every time. Like obviously it's like these are kind of rocky votes though. Rocky fuck, but still it's like she's in the know of what's going on. She's blindsided the Kelly vote. She's still on the bottom for this. It's like these 2 votes are pretty bad. She's a swing here. And really, it really is just a spot where she's her post merge game is just really bad. Like her pre merge games, like she's not in a great position, but she's at least like voting with the group. And like she had some decent recovery in the post swap and whatnot, but then post merge, it's just like she's either out of the loop. Yeah, she's either out of the loop or like needs an idol there. And then like here's just a spot where she gets like swapped into a fortunate position. So yeah, it's like 6 out of 10. Like that's not great. Like that does just put her with this. And considering she never really found herself in an actual alliance, I think that's probably fair to keep her closer to these people. Rum Scott, if he loses Blockbuster, yes. Was Dan voting Elizabeth at 9 an active move? I believe he has said that it was, right? I think the plan was to split the vote. Like he did like a 1-person thing in splitting the vote. Wasn't that the story? I remember there was a story behind it. I don't believe it was a thing where people like I don't believe it was like a group thing, right? I think that was something he just did on his own. Do we ever find out who the second IOI person was? Not 100%. I personally am under belief right now that it was Nora, but we don't 100% know. We know who it wasn't. So, like, we know one of them obviously was Elaine. We know the other one isn't. We know it's not Lauren. We know it's not Janet, and it's likely not Karishma. She technically hasn't said it wasn't me, but she also has like talked about 50 in a spot where like she never brings up the fact that it was her, and also like talks about like I know I'm never playing Survivor again. Which like I feel like if you got called for 50, you probably wouldn't say that, but I guess you never know. Like maybe you would. I don't know. Because it's like yeah, she's probably never playing Survivor again. So I think Nora would be my next option at that point. Like, are they really like Jamal is someone that would be cool, but I doubt they're calling Jamal. I doubt they're calling Missy. Like, I doubt they're picking anyone down here. I doubt they're calling Kelly. Like Dean is a someone, but like I don't know if they love Dean. So yeah, I'm personally leaning towards Nora, but especially in like a world where like they didn't want to call Carolyn initially. I could see like Nora being there, like in their minds, like kind of a replacement. Yeah, Lauren Ashley Beck said that there were 2 IOI people called. So that wasn't her place to say who, but said that she wasn't one of them, obviously. But Elaine has gone on to say that like she was called, and then it's just who's the other one. Yeah, again, there's not really many options, and I think the only reasonable option there is at this point is Nora. Like it's Nora or Dean. Like I don't think anyone else actually feels practical at this point. Or to be fair, there is a world where they could call Missy. Yeah, okay. There's a world where they call Missy. There's a world they call Jamal. But like, I would be surprised. Where like I do think the most likely is Nora. Clearly Jack, yeah. After he didn't go to the fucking reunion. It's clearly Jason Linden. They loved Missy at the time. Like, yeah, they like really hyped up Missy at the time. I think it's like a spot where just, I doubt, like, if they're not like, we don't even know if they called Shan. Like, if we don't know they even called Shan, it's like, I don't know if they're calling Missy. Like, that would be kind of random. But again, they liked her at the time, at least. Q is definitely not doing Big Brother, right? Savannah would be fun though. What was I at? Karishma. Yeah. So I think Karishma fits more in this tier. In terms of the ranking, she might be the worst. And like it's tough because like Karishma has the most potential. I think it's the thing that's annoying about it because like Karishma is someone that if she played again, I would have way more faith in Karishma than like anyone else here. Like generally, like Karishma may be like up to this point, like the person I would have the most faith in if she played again. Maybe, but like, but yeah, it's like in terms of the game she played and everything, her game's just pretty shit. This is me counting up how many tribals they went to. Like this number is the total tribals they went to. This is the amount of times they voted correctly. Which, yeah, like that's playing a factor at this point. Wait, I really moved. Yeah, I'm fucking dumb. I'm not cutting. I'm copying all the time. Venus. Okay, we'll just look it up. Who's the other one again? Christina, right? So we'll just open up 49 also. Venus, I'm pretty sure does vote in the majority a lot, right? But she just doesn't go to a lot of tribals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she survives 6. Dude, fuck me. And then votes correctly. Wait, no, not even 6-5 because that's a tie. Yeah, so really not much at all. Votes correctly. I would consider this, right? Split. So, yeah, 4 out of 5. So like that's decent. But again, still a spot where like she's not really in any like any true alliance the entire time. I think she fits more of these people. I guess the problem is that again, these people at least like found a group eventually to a degree. I guess like is she really that much worse than like I had her better than Ryan Medrano by a decent chunk, but like I think she's probably more so on that level. Way more faith in Karishma as a player over Venus. I would agree with that. But again, I feel like this is more so based on like what we actually saw than like the potential. Because if we're doing this on like potential, then like I would have Karishma like a decent chunk higher. So I think at this point it's like the main the main thing we're going for with the list at this point is just to be like to remain consistent. And I feel like it's easiest to be consistent when we base it more on reality. Did we see Venus have potential on the traders? I don't know if she was that good on the traders. I don't know. She was kind of like, eh. She was alright. Like she wasn't anything like that good. She was at least in the majority in the start. Venus wasn't. To a degree. I mean, like, it was like a group that formed, but it wasn't like a real group though. Like it's not like they ever cared about like Karishma was always still fodder to them though. Like by the time of the second vote, it's like they're already like throwing her under the bus and are like willing to vote her out. So it's like I don't think it was ever like a real alliance. Part of me, okay. I think I'm gonna rearrange these eventually anyway. I'm just trying to decide which one is Venus more in line with, like which of these three groups. I think she's probably more of this. I think the interesting thing about Ryan Medrano. Okay, I think I'm gonna put her below or above Ryan Medrano. I think is where I'm landing. Because like she at least did have Randon. The same that like Ryan had a Geo. She does vote in the majority for a lot of the post merge game. See, I think I'll land her there for now. I think there's a world where this group gets higher though. We'll see. Then yeah, let's run through Christina. Wait, what did I do here? Dude, I'm a fucking idiot. I need to pay attention to what I'm actually doing. There we go. Yeah, Christina. Cool. Close the wrong thing. That's fine. She didn't go to that many tribals, right? She went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only went to 6 tribals. Votes correctly at 3 of them. But even then, like, it's like her, like the 2 that she votes correctly at the end are bad. So she technically survives 5 tribals, votes correctly at 3. Yeah. So it's a 3-5 record. Like, Christina sucks. Yeah, I think Christina just actually just kind of sucks. Because it's a spot where like I don't even agree if the move she's making. Um, hmm. Let's see. Okay, so I think the way I'm currently looking at this, I feel like Bruce and Karen are above the rest of these. And it's more so trying to figure out what I'm doing with this. How long I'm streaming for? Really until I get like really tired. We'll see. I generally I just need to get I need to get this done. So it's like as much as I can tonight. Realistically, I would say close to like 4 o'clock or whatever. So like a couple, again, like 2.5 hours from now, maybe somewhere around there. And again, I'll probably be back tomorrow too. Yeah, it's like I think Christina is worse actually. Like I feel like Christina's the worst of all these people. Is like where my gut is currently leaning. Because like she also would have been like the first boot. Is that my ranking of every Survivor player got less than 10,000 views? I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. Or if it, wait, if it, yeah, if it, wait, I'll be very surprised if it only gets 1,000, or 10,000 views. I think it'll get more. And again, as someone that like, again, I don't really like care that much about viewership. Like, I feel like I would be very surprised if it doesn't. Like, even my the first part of my Rumo video got like, I got like over 10, right? Or like if that can get over 10,000, then like, then 1,000,000,000% the like this. Yeah, I got 12K. So it's like, again, if this got 12K, like there's no way that this video won't do like better than that. So I feel fairly confident in that. Kyle, Oswald, no, we haven't yet. Still here. But yeah, I think my gut is Christina's the worst of these. And it's more so about piecing together the tiers beyond this. Like in a way, I kind of feel like Leaf is like slightly different than these, just because like Leaf actually had like an actual like an actual like real alliance where it's like these people are kind of just like tag-alongs to groups. Where like I feel like these three kind of make sense together in like Venus, Ryan, Say. And like maybe they're closer to a Christina. Like I'm kind of feeling something like this right now. Like Venus, Ryan, Christina, or Venus, Ryan, Say, Christina here. And then these players who went to more tribals in wait, did I miss somebody? Oh, I missed Christina, right? She should be there. Either way. Yeah, then these people next. Wait, okay, cool. And off a tier somehow. Whatever. And then what am I doing with Leaf? Not sure what I'm doing with Leaf at this point. And like maybe like generally maybe Leaf. Like I feel like he feels like a middle ground here. Like I feel like maybe I just do it like this for now and then see if there's anyone later that feels fine with him. Playing that big round winner pick is sandwiched between between two second boots. Um, who's the other second boot? um, I generally don't even fucking remember at this point. OV we're talking about. We're talking about like that stretch. Okay, yeah. I was thinking you meant like like one of the other winner picks I made like right before like BB27 or something. Who goes on this week of Roman's Blockbuster? Couldn't tell you. Does YouTube tell you if viewers of one of your videos are more likely to watch another specific one of your videos? Kind of. Like they give you like they definitely like they tell you like what types of videos do well at least. Returning season for BB30. I think that's the next shot of one. I wouldn't bet money on it, but I would say it's more likely to be that than like 29, obviously. Like I would, but yeah, I wouldn't expect a all returning season for 30, but you never know. Especially considering that it seems like they are like maybe it'll be more likely to be like an all like reality season or something. Like generally, I think that's probably more feasible is like a reality showdown season more so than a full returnee season. But yeah, where are we at now? So Sean Caniff and Edna. Also, I should probably double check and delete anybody. Oh, duh, because these numbers are here now. Pff, cool. Wait, let's do this. Wait, does that not work? How do you deselect? What's the thing for that? Is it alt? I generally don't remember. Nope, not alt. Whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. Let's just do this real quick. Okay, yeah, so we're still good. Survivor's never doing that. And I don't think Survivor would agree to that. I think Big Brother would agree to that. If Rome wins Blockbuster, Rick Devens is going to have a hard time being the outgoing HOH. Probably. I mean, it depends who wins the next HOH. But yeah. All right, we got Sean and we got Edna Ma in this next tier. Don't really know why these two are together. I guess they were on the bottom of like groups that did run the game, but like weren't really with them, but kind of voted with them. I don't know. Whatever. Sean has like a very mixed record, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he survives 8 tribals, votes correctly at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not horrible. 6-8 record. But like obviously he doesn't have like much gumption for the game. Yeah, we'll count up Edna's at this point too. Yeah, what does Edna have? I'm pretty sure she votes in the majority the entire time, right? Until her boot. But again, it's just like her riding with the. Like, yeah, she's part of a split. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it's a 9 out of 9 record, right? No, not except for the Cochran vote. So 8 out of 9. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That's one of the better voting records up to this point. I would suspect a 7-person jury. I suspect that's just what they're doing nowadays because they want to save money. Let's see. So Sean's a bit different than Edna from my perspective. Like I feel like Edna is more of a like Karen Bruce. And like Bruce, I'm giving like a bit of a boost just because like we don't know how his game actually would have played out. But yeah, I would say Edna is like closer to these people. I feel like Sean might be a bit like closer to these people. I mean, I guess his voting record is better than that for whatever that's worth. Edna, like Edna versus Karen. It seems like I already decided beforehand that Edna's better than Karen. Do I stick to that? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. But I would, yeah, I think them being in the same tier feels fine though. At this point, kind of these like people that voted with the majority for most of the season, but didn't really have much like social capital in the game, but weren't like awful players. Like it's not like they didn't have, because like Edna's someone that like I think she had the right like idea of what to do, it's just that she couldn't really do it. They could do a 9-person jury if Rick places 11th for them. I don't know if they care enough to do that. Like I don't think they're willing to. Like, are they really willing to spend like extra thousands of dollars just to have Rick on the jury? Like I don't know. Like I don't think they care enough about it to do that. Like just so they can get like Rick in a jury segment. It's like I don't know. Like what difference does that really make for them? Yeah. Sean. Maybe I do. Maybe Sean with Leaf isn't the worst thing in the world. Like they have better voting records than like some of the people below here, and like we're voting with the majority for most of the time. I guess too fair they don't have a better voting record than this, but still didn't make it all the way to the final 5. Went to way more tribals. I kind of want to go Leaf above Sean. Like maybe I'm like overrating Leaf at this point because like Leaf also is someone that like agreed to go to tribal in a spot where like he was one of the names being thrown around. But again, like he's in a majority group for like he's gotten the majority of the men's group and like stayed in it post swap, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And like even by the end, it's like he at least like tried to flip on Kim. Like he was at least like trying at the end. So I don't know. I kind of do want to just do that. What do I do with this? Actually, I guess I'll move this. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Okay, maybe let's do this. I guess not that. Do this. That. Move Sean here. And then delete all these. Okay. What was I was gonna debate something else. I forgot what it was now. Oh yeah, actually, I think I should debate Sean versus like Angela, Christy, Karishma. I mean, I guess he just has a better voting record than them. Like all these people like barely vote correctly half the time. So yeah. Actual eviction, Riley's eviction's better. Lead up to it, I would say the lead up to the Izzy eviction's better. All right, then we got these 3. Yeah, Sean gets the 4, but it's like Sean's still not winning the game or anything. It's like, yeah, I guess like maybe you could add like another vote to his record, but it's like, which I mean, like, yeah, again, like his voting record is just better than these people, which like is why I'm putting him here. But like, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's that impressive. Um, they just gets through like one more round where he's just gonna be voted out for there anyway. Um, yeah. Yeah. Nasir, Jamie, Saul. Um, again, like I'll look at their voting records. I feel like Nasir and Saul feel very like very similar to me. But then again, like Saul does go to more tribals, I believe. Because yeah, Nasir only goes to like a couple, right? Like only goes to 3. Only survives 2, and like that was a split, right? Yeah, that was a split. Okay, yeah. So he like technically has a 2-2 record, but like it's not like it's a good 2-2 record. Jamie, and like he would have been like voted out if he probably would have been the first boot had gone to the first tribal. Even after that, it's not like he was in like that good of a position. Yeah, it's like I think it's like even though he has a good voting record, he's still like not good. Jamie goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot about this. I forgot this was a thing. They played a fucking extra vote and that Jamie was the one to play this. Because like it was Lauren's extra vote, right? But like Jamie was the one to play it for some reason. Like because of the safety without power, or not safety. Oh my god, well, knowledge is power. That's what knowledge is power. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tribals. I won't give her credit for this. 1, 2. I won't give her credit for this. Like, she technically votes in the majority, but it was a spot where, like, Carson and Jam Jam knew what was happening. So it's like, I won't give her credit. I won't give her credit for this. 2, 3. Is it only... wow, that is really bad. What the fuck? I didn't realize it was that bad. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She only votes... like, she's only in the know of 3 out of 8 votes? That's horrific. I genuinely did not realize it was that bad. Wait, is it 8 or is it... oh, yeah, I'll recount again. Because I think I count the last one that time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4... okay, it's out of 7. Out of 7. But still, that's still pretty fucking bad. Like, that's the worst voting record of anyone we have in these, like, groupings. Yeah, like, I think genuinely, like, is she, like, she probably should be close to, like, a Christina Mills. Like, she also was, like, at first going to be the first boot. Like, before the Brandon Idol stuff happened and everything. Like, supposedly Jamie was going to be the first boot. Like, even after that, it's not like she, like, was in that good of a spot. She was tricked by, like, Matthew's fake idol. Like, she gets swap screwed, so that's, like, I'm not going to really factor that, like, swap round into it. But still in the post-merge, like, even if we're just going post-merge, it's, like, she's, like, in the know of, like, this vote. Like, it's really, is it really just the Josh and Franny votes? Because, like, okay, she's in the know of this vote. This vote, like, she's in the know, but, like, also she's, like, it's a luck-based thing. She just got swapped into a good position. Again, she's technically, like, voting in the majority, but, like, doesn't know what's going on there. Doesn't know what's going on there. Does vote out Franny, but, again, that's not even a good move at that point. Actually, no, I guess Franny might be a good move. Yeah, I guess debatable. But then this... actually, now I think about it, this was a split, wasn't it? I forgot, this was a split, but it was a bad move, so I'm not going to give her credit for it. But yeah, this was a split, now I think about it. But again, still a bad move, so I'm not going to give her credit for that because it's a bad move. Anyway, yeah, I think she's probably Christina level. Um, yeah, she's never really in a true group. Her voting record's worse than Say's. Like, she at least got to, I don't know, maybe, okay, so I think she is in this ballpark, at least. Like, I think she's in the tier um, of Venus, Ryan, Say, Christina. But where exactly in that? Yeah, I'm thinking above or below Say. I think Say had a better start. I think Jamie had like a better post merge, where like Say just like got no traction in the post merge, and really actually really after that first vote, she has no real traction in the game. Like Jamie at least like had a bit at that point, where like maybe I give the edge to Jamie, but also Jamie was like kind of almost a first boot. Brandon was supposed to be a 5-5 vote, but Jam Jam changed from Brandon to Franny. I believe the story is that Jam Jam actually wanted to save Brandon, right? Like that yeah, like obviously like Carson and Jam Jam, like they knew about both plans, and like Carson wanted to vote out Brandon, but I believe like Jam Jam wanted to keep Brandon and like warned them, like tried to warn them, but they didn't get the hint. So like I think like from Jam Jam's perspective, like he was actually kind of trying to save Brandon. Though from Carson's, like he wasn't. Like Carson was like voting for Brandon or voting for Franny despite wanting to save Franny. Um, Carson played the best Fallen game, Angel game ever. I think it's definitely it's definitely up there. Like I wouldn't if someone said that, I'd be like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Um, I think I'm gonna have Jamie here. And I think it's kind of a spot where like I think it's just Christina and Jamie in a tier. I think those two just being in a tier kind of just makes sense at this point. Say's kind of like in a middle ground between these, but find out what happened with the Tika 3 in terms of what. Like we're talking about like outside the show stuff. Yeah, then what we got? Saul. Saul has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tribals. Well, no, 4, like survives 4 tribals. Is in the know of 3 of them, right? Yeah, only this one. Which, yeah, I think ultimately I stand by the Nasir Saul comparisons. I would say Saul's probably better. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it is a spot where like Saul gets kind of lucked out that first at the Asia vote because like he was going home until Asia kind of blew up her own spot. The Fallout. I mean, like, not like officially. Like I think it's safe to assume the Carson Carolyn thing was over like how they were running like the business side of things or whatever. What happens in the final 4 with Heidi still winning final immunity? Like if it was a vote, I think Carolyn gets. Well, it's probably a fire making between Carolyn and Carson. Maybe. I generally don't know what Carolyn does. I guess all self preservation she might vote for Carson. Like Heidi wants Carson out. Carson and Jam Jam sticks with Carson. They vote for Carolyn. And And then, yeah, I assume at that point Carolyn just votes for Carson out of self-preservation, but then, I don't know, does Carolyn fire? Probably. Um, but I think Angela will become a top 100 player after BB28. She'll probably be close, at least. Now, like, she's still very, very flawed from what we're seeing, but it's like, if she makes another deep run, then I think she kind of has to. But we'll see. I guess not necessarily. It's like Howie had like 2 deepish runs. He's not top 100, but still. Yeah, Carson did okay in fire making. I believe Carolyn's good at fire making though, so it's like I don't know who wins. Yeah, Saul versus Nasir. I really can see it going either way. Like Saul had like probably a stronger like stretch here. Like Saul seemed to actually be doing pretty well in like this portion of the game. Nasir doesn't really have a stretch like that. But it's like it's still a spot where like he's voted out by like everybody by the end. But it's like I guess to be fair, like he had some people wanting to keep him, they just didn't vote for him by the end. I think I'm gonna lean Saul slightly. I don't know though. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's close because like I feel like this start like because both were like potential first boots. Nasir, I think escapes that more cleanly than Saul. I guess to be fair, like I guess you can credit Saul for having Asia blow up her game to try to save him. Again, this doesn't matter that much. Generally, it's like whatever. I'm gonna have Saul above this year. It's not that big of a deal. Like this doesn't matter that much. I was thinking Angela is preview 27 and Rachel Riley. Yeah, kinda. Like yeah, like definitely got handed allies in the way that BB13 did. Live, yeah, I said this last stream that I'm probably gonna go live every single day until I finish the player ranking. But again, just to work on the player ranking. Yeah, like Wednesday and Sunday streams will still be normal, but like outside that, like if I'm live, it's simply just to work on this. I've even thought about like streaming during the day, just because like at this point, like this is main channel stuff, like because yeah, it's like. Like obviously I still have these videos. Like I think once I finish these videos, so I have these 3 videos I'm currently working on. Once I'm done with those, this is the next thing I have to do. So it's like I might like if we're not done with this by like next week, then I'm probably just like actually gonna be like streaming working on this like for a lot of the day. But we'll see. What percentage do I think is left? I mean, we're at like 490 something, and like there's a total of 7, so we're like a little bit over a third of the which is not a great pace. Like I've been doing this for 5 streams already, this final phase, and we're only like a third of the way. So like on paper that means 10 more streams, but also like I think the end will go a bit quicker. Like I have a better idea of what I'm doing here. But still, it's like this middle grouping though is where it's pretty rough. Yeah, I'm trying to decide where I put Saul and Nasir. It's like they definitely have more gumption than like these players. I think I am leaning towards having something like this though. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I just put him above. Like, I think Saul and Nasir are more, like, well-rounded players. Yeah, I'm actually doing the final, like, putting people together. Like, we've gotten through, yeah, like, all this. But I still have all of these. How'd Laylaw get this high as a red? That is certainly a question. Again, we kind of changed criteria to a degree. Like, definitely putting a lot more emphasis on, like, the games that we saw. Like, how many tribals they survive, like, how much, like, runway they still had, like, if their, like, groups didn't swap or whatnot. I think, like, just based on, like, a slight change in criteria, it led to Tom kind of getting higher. Who do 41 players call for 50? For sure, Nasir, Deshaun, and... Actually, no, that's it. Nasir and Deshaun. Shan was a rumored call, and then... I think that's just it, isn't it, at this point? Because Xander wasn't called. Let's see. Sure, I think I can... I'll just move these back down at this point. Has a lot changed after my Rumo video that makes some of my video inaccurate? Not really. Actually, really, I don't think anything. Like, so obviously we got more confirmation from Aubrey of the story, which, like, the only thing that changed from the Aubrey thing is that, like, she wasn't an alternate of any kind. She was actually just outright cut and then got called back when Amanda dropped. Like, that's the only... Like, it's essentially just, like, a minor change from how we thought it was. Just in the sense that we thought it was more of a spot where she was, like the second alternate or something. Like, she was, like, still being... like, we didn't know that she was, like, outright cut and then called back. We thought she was, like, kind of just dangling there as, like, a backup and then got on. But no, she was, like, she was just outwardly cut in March and then got called back later. Like, that's the only, like, major thing. Oh, yeah, Judah Sokolowski, like, claims she wasn't called. That's a big thing, too, I guess. But to be fair, that doesn't really affect the rumor mill as much. Because the rumor mill is still the fact that she got called. Like, it's like, the Judah Sokolowski, like, that changes, like, the end part of the video. But, like, in terms of the effect on the rumor mill, it doesn't change anything because, like, she was in the rumor mill. Like, either way, like, whether she was actually called or not, it's like she was still in the rumor mill of, like, everyone was saying that she was called. Yeah, I actually did see the Avengers Doomsday trailer. And also, I was like, I don't know who the fuck, like, half these characters are, which I find very funny. Yeah, I still have the list. I'm too far. I haven't updated it post the Julia Sokolowski thing. But I had it, like, updated up to, like, a couple months ago. What'd I call it again? I don't remember what I fucking called the... Yeah, what the fuck did I call it? It's linked somewhere, right? Where did I link it? I did not watch... Oh, wait, are we talking about the OG X-Men movies, or are we talking about... Well, I guess actually there aren't new X-Men movies yet, right? Yeah, I watched the, like, yeah, like the Hugh Jackman ones. Must be excited for the return of Double Pass tomorrow. Sure, I am obviously so excited. Let's see. Here it is. Yeah, that's the spreadsheet of all the calls. Yeah, all the for 41 is Nasir, Shan, Deshaun. And watching Tarkan, yes. I've watched the first couple episodes. Don't give a shit about it though. Like it's probably the most mid show that ever existed, but I technically am watching it. Yeah, where are we at now? Oh yeah, Saul and Nasir. I think I will land them there. Maybe. Actually, no. I think I will move him down. I think I'll put him here. Like again, these players were like, I mean, like Edna in particular is kind of actually just kind of different. Like she just goes to way more tribals there, but like, yeah, Saul and Nasir, it's like, I mean, actually, really, there's an argument they're even lower than this. Like, I think they're definitely above this, like, Angela Christie, like, sort of tier. Like, they're definitely above that. I think Sean and Leaf is, like, kind of a more interesting one. Am I crazy to say that I think Leaf might be better? Like, I think that's what my gut's currently telling me. Is that I feel like it's, like I feel like this. Or, like, I think maybe, like, add Saul and Nasir to this tier. And then have Leaf above them. Because, again, Leaf at least had, like, he was in an alliance for most of the season. Like, Nasir and Saul, like, struggled to get into alliances early on. It's crazy that we're going to have another round of casting rumors in 54 in less than a year. I mean, like, if it follows 50, it's in, like, 3 months. Like, if literally, if the rumor mill is the exact same as 50, like, we'll hear about it in, yeah, less than 3 months. Like, sometime in November, right? Like, it's very soon if it happens. So I agree with these. What is this? Dude, this is a fucking lot. When was this at? Like, is this, like, coming into 50? Or what? Because if we're saying, like, right now, it's like, I don't know. Like, right now, I'd say, like, I don't know, Jonathan, like, I don't know if he's a locked return. Very possible. Marianne probably is a lock. Jesse's probably also, like, more like here. Jam, I think, is more like here. Q's probably still here. Andy, I think, is closer to here. Rachel's probably still here at some point. Sophie's probably here. Rizzo, probably here. Savannah, probably closer to here. It's a few days ago. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like some of these people aren't locks to return at this point. Like, I think it's a good chance, but it's not like we're for sure going to. Like, I think, like, there's a world where we never see Jonathan again. Like, there's a world where we never see, like Andy becomes one of these, like, I just, like, the time passed or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's not like a lock those people return. I would actually have D more as a lock to return at this point. We're talking about, like, at some point in the future. Carla is not returning. Carla's down here at this point. I would say Carolyn's more of a wild card. Bruce definitely is not a high chance of return. Bruce is like probably this. Tiffany's probably right. Sam's probably right. Say, I think, is probably more of a wild card. I don't know. I think in general, I'm just like, and I think like these are like most of these people are not coming back. It's like I think it's just like most of the people aren't coming back at this point. I think Andy returns one day for sure. I just don't know if it's like, again, for sure. It's like next returning season's 54. It's like there's probably going to be more Andys in 51, 52, 53. It's like, is Andy that unique of a presence? So it's like, I don't know. It's like I think he could be replaced. Like, I don't think he's like irreplaceable. Like they literally replaced him on a 24-person cast for 50 when he was like his season literally just happened. So it's like, I don't know. Like I would not be shocked that there's like another Andy on Survivor 54 or 53 or whatever, to take his spot. I think Jesse is someone that, like, I think the fact that he was chosen to be flown out to the 50 premiere stuff, I think that was a good sign for Jesse. But yeah, I'm still not like, I don't think Jesse coming back is a lock or anything though. Okay, we're on to this fucking weird group of players. Okay, so I think now we're kind of at a bit of a paradigm shift. Kind of. I don't know. All right, how do we actually handle this? Because, like, everyone we've been through so far was never actually in a, like, real alliance that stuck together. Like, they were either at the bottom of group. I guess, like, Leaf is maybe the most available. But, like, yeah, they were either at the bottom of groups or, like, again, like, had, like, short-term alliances. Now we're getting to the point where, like, I guess not necessarily for these people, but, like, Frank and Zoe, at least, like, had actual real allies at a point. But I guess it probably just isn't that big of a difference, though. I think Andy sticks out in history. That would be someone that can be brought back 10 years from now, like Troyzan. I think his best thing is the fact that he has Operation Italy. Like, I think that definitely... Like, I think that's still considered, like, a big Survivor moment to where that'll help him. But I could also see him just being kind of, like, forgotten eventually. Yeah, I know. They sell Operation Italy merch, which is very funny. Despite that, only Genevieve ended up being on 50. All right, let's... I think I'll still bother to fucking look up the vote counts here. Even though I don't think it really matters that much for these, but... Like, Frank... goes the... survives 7 tribals. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Survives 6 tribals. Votes correctly at... I'll give him credit for this, considering it was a half, like a 50-50. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6. Had an actual alliance, though, which is, I think is like kind of a boon for him. Wasn't particularly liked. But yeah, Okay, is this a world where I move Leaf up? Huh. She did learn compassion was the key to her game. That is true. That's why she's back. Like Sam Phelan's going to be shafted? Not necessarily. I think Sam's a bit more unique of an archetype, and Sam also is a runner-up, which I think helps him. Like, I think the problem with Andy is that, like, there's, like, a billion fucking nerdy super fans that have a journey arc. Like, Sam is, like, different. Like, Sam isn't that. Like, Sam's, like, kind of a, again, like a alpha, like, sort of, I don't know, like a bro-y kind of looking guy, but, like, with, like, a nerdier side that also is, like, very intellectual and, like, is a good narrator. I don't know. It's, like, I just feel like Sam's different from, like, a lot of other more recent, like, new era casting choices. What was it? I was going to look something up. I already forgot what I was going to look up. Either way. Yeah, so Frank, I think that actually makes sense, though, to have Leaf with Frank. Sam could be, like, the Chrissy. Maybe. I really underestimate how much they liked Chrissy. Like, I really did not realize Chrissy was like that high on their boards. But maybe that's the same thing with Andy. And too fair, I know Andy's high on their boards. Like, again, like I'm not saying that. Like, if Survivor 51 was a returning season, Andy's on it. Like, that's undeniable. But it's more so just like, by the time 54, is he like a lock? I don't know. It's just like, I think he, again, is he on 54? Probably. Like, I would bet money he's on 54, but I don't think he's like a guarantee, like he's 100% there. Just because I feel like there's a billion Andy types. Like, if Barrett was on Survivor, Barrett from Big Brother 28 on Survivor, like, he's an Andy type. Like, he takes Andy's fucking spot if he has a good run. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like that sort of archetype's like kind of like a dime a dozen. Yeah, I'm kind of debating this right now I think this structure feels fine. Because, like, again, these people had actual alliances. These people didn't. It's like, while these people are still not, like, particularly good, I think the fact that they at least had alliances. I actually think I'm going to go Leaf below Frank. Because Leaf at least was in a majority alliance. Frank was even in a majority alliance. Like, yeah, it was like 50-50. But that, and also I think, like, Frank's probably more like of an actively bad, like, player from, like, a social perspective. Issues Rizzo took a spot on 50. It'll be 10 more by 54. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he got overshadowed within 2 seasons, it's like, do we not think he's going to be overshadowed again in 3 seasons in a spot where, like, by that point it's been 7 seasons since his original appearance? Like, I don't know. It's like Andy's erraticness makes him different. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know. Again, we'll see. Kind of. I mean, we probably won't actually see because, like, again, I'm not even saying that, like, Andy won't come back. I just feel like it's a spot where, like, it feels like there's going to be a lot of Andy types. Or, like if Christian from 51 does well. It's like, Christian's kind of that type, right? Like a nerdy super fan that, like, seems to be playing the game hard. It's like, I don't know. Like, again, there's a lot of people like Andy that show up on Survivor nowadays. 51's a pre-juror season. Would Matt and Jason have a shot at making the cast? Matt, no. Jason, like, maybe, but probably still no. Zoe Zandakis. She doesn't really go to that many tribals, right? I think maybe like 4. What? I could literally just be hitting voting history. I'm a fucking idiot. Whatever. Yeah, only survives 3, votes correctly all of them, technically. That's something. Gets flipped on by her own people by the end. Yeah, I think Zoe's just a worse Frank. Yeah, I think she's still here. I'll at least give her credit for, like, I guess she got into an alliance. She at least had the killer instinct to flip on her alliance when, like, they were going downhill. But ultimately, it's still not, like, she's not that good, though. Like, she's not good. So I think, like, her being in this tier is still fine. Austin, I don't even think I need to look up the voting record. Like, it doesn't really matter, Austin. Like I'm pretty sure he goes to, like, what, 4? Or maybe 3. And, like, votes correctly all 3. So it's, like, cool. And generally, I guess that is also kind of in this tier. Like, was in a majority group. I guess credit to him in the fact that he never gets flipped on. But, like, I guess that's just, like, better than Zoe, I guess. I mean, I guess technically he does get flipped on because he gets voted out, but, like, never gets. Actually, no, he did. He was gonna get voted out, but, like, again, not in the, like, not because, like, they actually flipped on. More so because he wanted to quit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this. I don't know if do I even need to keep these numbers? It really doesn't. I'm not going to keep them long term. I'm just more so like, because like these numbers don't matter that much longer. Like once we get to like around here, I feel like, I don't know, once we get towards the, like, especially when we're starting to get to like returning players and everything, like these numbers don't matter at all. Like at that point, I have a more concrete opinion. Like yeah, like once we get into like this ballpark, especially, like I have a more concrete opinion of like where people should land. But it's like I think at this point where like all we have is like one-time players and players that like only made it to like halfway through their seasons and everything, it makes it a bit tougher to like really rank them. That's why we're doing this. Just in Crack Top 300. I forgot, is he on pace 2 right now? Where's Justin? Let's see. Fuck, he actually is. We'll see. That seems too high though. But again, we'll see. Jason over Matt is crazy. Is it though? I don't think it is. Wait, are we talking about for like a returning season, or are we talking about on this list? On this list, I don't think it's crazy. If we're talking about on a returning season, it's like I don't think they feel anything about Matt. Like I think Jason, like they kind of found his like alternate like story like endearing by the end. Like he at least had a story on the season. Like what the fuck was Matt's story on 49? Anyway, yeah, we're at Shambo. Yeah, I guess just look up Samoa. I guess I'll still bother to do this. All right, Shambo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She only goes, okay, she only survived 7 tribals. I thought it was more than that. Is it in the know of, I forgot she was even involved in that. Not that either. Actually, that's pretty bad. But this one she technically was. So 1, 2, not that, 3, 4, only 4. I didn't realize her voting record was that bad, actually. That's a pretty bad track record. Yeah, I think she probably should be lower than, like, she doesn't have a particularly good track record. She also, like, was on the bottom of her group for most of it, like her original group. Like, I think she probably should be, like, somewhere in this ballpark in retrospect. Like, I guess, like, credit the Shambo for, like, having gumption. Like, she at least, like, recognized she was on the bottom and flips. But even then, I don't know how much of that was, like, strategic. But even then, like, I still think, like, her being able to, like, turn against Laura, but not have Laura, like, realize that until it was too late is, like, also kind of, like, a credit to her to a degree. Like, she was able to, like, tell Russell to play his idol without, like, alerting the rest. It's like, that's something. So yeah, it's like I might go like here. Like I just think her voting record's like bad enough to where, or maybe I go her and Sean Kniff actually. Maybe that could be like a sub tier. The voting record's really bad though, but I guess like doesn't matter that much. I kind of want to do it. Of going Shambo and Sean Kniff together, and like giving Shambo Biv credit for like being a bit more like active in the game. Wait, did I not copy Austin over? I need to just stop. Yeah, the way I'm doing this is like I'm gonna confuse myself at some point by doing all this of like copying instead of cutting. Wait, okay, fuck. There's something wrong. Oh, wait, okay, no, I'm fine. Okay, never mind. Because these are, okay. Yeah, let's delete that too. That's gonna bother me. Whatever. Christina and Tarzan. Let's figure out where they are. Two great players of Survivor. One world. All right, Tarzan goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Survives 9 tribals. Like, that's pretty good. Dude, fuck off. Whatever. That's fine. Votes in the majority. 1, 2, 3, 4. He was just on the outs there, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was actually on the outs there. Okay, let's close that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because, like, yeah, and then 8. So, like, he's in the majority for most of the votes he goes to. The only one he's not involved in is the Michael vote. But also, it's not like he's not in, like, a particularly great spot during these. It's not like, I don't know how much credit to really give him for, like, these votes. When it's, like, him just enabling the women and, like, he's not able to crack into that group by the end. But he does have a pretty decent start, all things considered. Like these rounds are pretty good. And like this was a weird round, but I think he's probably more in this Edna category. Because, like, I don't know, him versus Leaf, though, I think is kind of an issue. No, okay, yeah, actually, no. Yeah, it's like, he has to be above Leaf, right? Yeah, it's like, I don't think there's not an argument that Tarzan's definitely better than Leaf. So I think he has to be here. Yeah, it's like, okay, actually, he has the same voting record as Edna, but I think the fact that he was actually, like, because, like, with Edna, she was, like, clearly just on the bottom of her group. Like, Tarzan was actually, like, more with, like, Colton in them. And yeah, I think give him at least, like, some credit for, like, siding with the women by the end. I'll put him there for now. Yeah, we'll see how all this plays out. Argument for Say higher than Ryan. There's an argument. I mean, in the sense that, like, I think Ryan starts worse. But I think Ryan's able to, like, have a, like, competent post-merge game, or, like, say she really only has, like, one good round, and after that she's kind of just there. It's like she has, like, the Stephanie round, which is good, but then after that it's like she, like, almost gets blindsided by her own group in the Kevin vote, and then, like, kind of gets saved due to, like, nothing that, like, she has no clue what's happening in that round. And then, like, obviously she saves herself during, like, again, the Mary, like, where Mary plays Shot in the Dark and everything, like, that's just a weird round. Like, I don't know how much to really take away from that. But then again, she's on the bottom of their swap. Post merge, she's on the bottom the entire time there. It's like Ryan's at least, like, able to, like, form some bonds and everything in the post merge. So I do stand by that. I would lean Ryan over Say. Say get vote every tribal she goes to, probably, right? Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah, pretty sure that's the case. That's pretty insane, actually. She goes to what, like 5 of them, right? Anyway, where are we at now? Christina. Christina has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tribals she survives. Oh, I forgot that she voted out Nina. 1, 2. I would count this. She knew what was happening. 3, 4. Same thing. This 5, 6. No. No, she didn't know what was happening here. She didn't realize she was a split. So what? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 6, 7, even though that's bad. Okay, 7. So 7 out of 10. So that's a bit worse. She was a bit more like with the women. But again, she was kind of on the bottom of that group. I mean, I had Christina above Tarzan before. Do I just stick with that? I don't know if that feels consistent here. Like, I don't know. Is Christina better than Tarzan? I don't even know if that's a guarantee. Like, obviously she survives over him, but like, Tarzan was in a better early spot than Christina was. Like, I think it's like on paper, I would have more faith in Christina than Tarzan, but like, based on what we actually see in the game, yeah, I don't know. Like, considering they even like decided to like split the vote onto her, during the like the Troyzan boot round, like that's pretty bad. So like, I kind of feel like she might be here, like closer to like an Edna player. Even though her vote record doesn't really like her vote record's worse than that. So like maybe that's even like an Angela, but I feel like that's too low by that point. Yeah, it's like I think I'm gonna settle on her being in this tier, which like puts her below Tarzan and Leaf, which does feel a little bit weird considering like she obviously makes it way past them. But I think they had better starting positions than Christina. And also Christina had like no real gumption in the game by the end. She was kind of just like, yeah, just following people most of the game. Like Leaf at least tried to make a move. Tarzan at least credit him for like flipping, and like getting a like having a chance of getting to the end with Alicia and whatnot. Got Big Brother Dole on the first try. That's pretty insane. Like first try, as in like the first name you pick, but like not just like what I did Carl Blanchone, where like it was the second person. Like it was like the first person after the first thing to give you clues. Yeah, someday I'll get that with Jonas on the Survivor Dole. I do need to do the Big Brother Dole at some point. I haven't played it at all. But I need to finish this first. Yeah, it's very first guess. Yeah. Like who was it to be like a first guess? Like was it like just some like was it a really random person or was it like actually like a notable person? What is the best Big Brother pick actually? Like because like obviously like with Survivor it's like well it was like Aris, right? Aris Blood vs Water. Like what is the Big Brother equivalent to that? It's like probably someone from like BB14 or so. Like somewhere in that range, right? Like maybe someone like in the third like around 30ish years old. Is that maybe like a Shane? No, probably someone earlier. Maybe a Frank actually. Would Frank be in like Frank BB14? Oh. Jace BB7. Okay. It's kind of a random one. Especially when it comes to like I think it's weird when it's returning player when like you obviously have like you could pick any of their seasons. Okay, what am I doing here, Christina? Am I going above or below Edna? I kind of want to go below Edna. Yeah, I'm thinking below Edna. Like, I don't know. It's like Christina obviously makes it further. Like, actually got to the final four with her group. Edna only got to what, final 7 or 6? But I think Edna at least had the right idea of what she should be doing. Christina just like didn't really do much at all. And like generally, like maybe there's an argument that Karen's better too. I could see Karen being better than Christina too. Because like, I think my issue, like I generally I think Christina and Bruce might be like maybe this is a spot where like this is another, like I can maybe do Bruce and Christina. Because I actually feel like that is probably more similar than that of Karen and Edna. So yeah, I think I'll do that. All right, we've gone through what, 20 people somehow? Only 20, not even 20 people. How many people have we gone through? 17 people. This is never fucking ending. Yeah, again, whatever. Nick Brown. Nick Brown. So this is kind of a random tier. Got Nick Brown, Sierra Reed, Katie Collins, Mary. 48. Which, like, from what I remember, I think the notion around this tier was based around the fact that they like had a decent stretch where they were voting with the majority. Actually, I don't know. This is just kind of a, what the fuck is this tier? If Roman's Blockbuster Melody's gone now, yeah, that doesn't shock me. Like I have seen that. Like I know D has been pushing for it, which sure, I guess. To be fair, D has like a decent enough relationship with Jason, right? So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world for her. I don't know. How's Kyle better than Nick Brown? Kyle did well in challenges. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kyle, I think. Yeah, we'll deal with this later. Nick Brown. I think we'll still go to the voting record. Why not? How many tribals to go to? Quite a bit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. Okay. Okay, this is, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, the voting record doesn't really matter here. Like, it's a bad voting record, but, like, I don't really fault him too much for that, because, like, this is obviously, like, a spot in Survivor, like, everything was so, like, based around, like, original tribes. He just got pagonged. I do fault him for the fact that he was on the bottom of the Kucha power structure. Like, that's still an issue. Like, I don't think he's as, like, I don't know. I think this is a spot where, like, actively he's a worse player than, or actively these players are worse, I should say, than Nick Brown. Or like Frank is the Enzo, where definitely like way more confrontational with someone like a Nick Brown. Like Nick Brown, outside of like him being perceived as lazy, like seems like an affable enough guy. Like he doesn't really get into any like real conflicts. But he also has no like real gumption in the game though. Like he's simply just there. I think I'm leaning towards pairing him with Leaf, actually. It's tough because, like, yeah, like I do think he. I mean, like, really, you could argue he's like closer to these players, really. In the sense that he didn't really have like a real, like alliance that was gonna stick with him. Like even Varner and Alicia didn't plan on taking him deeper. I think Jason is the best move for that side of the house outside of Rome. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, for the most part, I agree. Um, I think with like, especially for like Devins, it's like pretty undeniable. For Angela, it's probably also the case. I think D is one that's like, it's better for her side for sure. I don't know if for her as an individual it matters that much. Because like I don't think Jason's going after D right now, at least. Um, and it's not like she has like any like relationship with Melody. Um, Lyric would have been better. I don't think Lyric would have been better for D. I think it's possible for Survivor to give a random season like 56 or 57 a title. I think, like, is it possible? I mean, like, yeah. Will it happen? No. Like, I'll be very surprised, but like, it's possible. Yeah, I'm leaning towards him being closer to this like Christina Shaw tier, genuinely, with Nick Brown. Just because I don't think he ever had any like real like allegiances in the game. And like this is even really much based around his voting record, just because like his voting record is kind of irrelevant. But like in a way, like generally, I think he's actually kind of worse than this. Like I think he's probably like here. Like I think he's like a Saul and Nasir that like didn't get flipped on by his own people. Actually, no. I guess he's better. I guess he's better than that because like he doesn't like because those people were like Saul and Nasir were like almost first boots. Like he was almost a first boot. But like if his group went to tribal again, like he probably is voted out there. Like I think that is kind of like Bruce coded to a degree. But like Bruce at least like was a swing at the merge. Like Nick wasn't really that. Yeah, I think Nick Brown being here isn't the worst thing in the world. I think that does make sense to me. To have Nick Brown there. Wait, no, put him here. Yeah. We'll do this. I'm generally trying to think of like, is there an argument for Nick Brown being higher? That isn't just like Nick Brown seems like a smart guy. Yeah, I think this is fine. Sierra Reed. Again, like I don't think voting record really matters too much at this point. But I'll just look it up for the sake of it. Goes thrives 4 tribals, votes correctly twice. So like that's pretty bad. Like a 2-4 record. She is an initial majority. The problem is that majority gets flipped on fairly early. But she is still in like a majority group. She probably would have been voted out next. If they went to another tribal. Should have been Lala instead of Melody. Like on the block? Probably, yeah. I mean, like, I think the thing about Melody, though, is that there's the Devins. Like, I think for Devins in particular, Melody going isn't the worst thing in the world. With, like, Melody just, like, pretty much openly, like, targeting him or whatever. Why does Jason think getting Devins out is going to get him America's favorite? I mean, it doesn't hurt. Like Devins is definitely getting one the next 2 at least, right? So it's like I don't know. It takes one less person. Like, it takes out a person that would probably win one. Um, I I'm kind of conflicted here with Sierra, actually. Uh, because like I kind of want to give her credit for being in a majority initially, but like the end of her game is just bad. Um, but I guess is that much different than like a Leaf? I guess maybe that is just what Leaf is. Um, like he was an initial majority. I think the thing about Leaf though is that Leaf is at least like trying at the end of his game. Um, Sierra isn't. But like still, it's probably not that big of a difference. Um, Actually, no, I think also the difference is that like Leaf comes to the merge down in numbers. Sierra doesn't, and that like just actively loses those numbers. So that is also worse. Um, like actually, is there a world where she is worse, a worse Zoe? Actually, like Zoe feels like a worse player on paper, but like in terms of how the games play out, I think Sierra's game is definitely worse. Um, like start off initial majorities. Like at least like Zoe was aware enough to flip on her group. Um, or is this more Bruce? I don't know. Okay, yeah, I feel like she's somewhere in that range. I kind of want to like. I think the fact that like her, like the fact that like Coach Tyson Debbie flip on her, like her and Brendan, is like what's keeping her below these people. Um, okay, cool. Didn't mean to do that. But then even in comparison to these people, it's like I think Edna and Karen are playing more optimally. And then like once we're getting to like Christina, it's like okay, maybe that's like a bit more um like in the same conversation. And too, for she was in the same tier as Nick to begin with. Um so I am kind of feeling like somewhere in this ballpark. Um Now that I'm looking at it, should Christina be with Shambo? Maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. Christina with Shambo. Yeah, I don't know. That maybe isn't the worst thing. Let me look at this list again. Like this is what the OG list was. Yeah, Shambo and Christina were in the same tier initially. I don't know. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I move Christina down. Like okay, the tough thing about Christina, or I don't know, is that moving Christina down or Shambo up? Maybe that's a move Shambo up thing. He's like Shambo at least like eventually found her people, was willing to flip to get in with those people. Um, but ultimately they still vote her out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a moving Shambo up thing. Like give her credit for getting in with the Fofoas. Winner will be between 8 would have gone if Devon's played his idol. or played this week's. Oh fuck! Why did I say idle? Played this week's save and did the original noms. Like how would the like if he wins veto also? Like you would assume like Lala would be like. Nah, actually, it would probably just be Melody, right? It probably just would be Melody that goes. Like in that spot, you would assume they don't declare wars, and Lala wouldn't be like a target for being like so with the other side. So it probably would just be a Melody or a Mallory that goes, depending on like blockbuster result. Okay, I think I think that moves Sean back to this tier. And then move these people back down. Dude, generally, I'm never finishing this. Anyway, Sierra, yeah, it's like Sierra, I think, is probably closer to like this range. Like, I think she's in this tier of like Bruce and Nick Brown. Does get flipped on. Oh, she's kind of worse, right? I mean, I guess like credit to her for having like more of a solid alliance, but it's like in the early days, but just it doesn't stick. So it's like I don't know how much credit to really give her for that. So considering she only votes correctly like twice, her entire post merge game's really bad. Like I think my guts really is like put her as her own separate tier for now. Because at least like Nick and Brown, or fucking Nick and Brown, Nick and Bruce like never got flipped on by their people. Like, Sierra did. So yeah, I think that feels okay to me. Katie Collins is a bit of a weird one. Katie Collins might just be the top, which I love. Katie Collins as a top. Yeah, why am I doing this? I can literally hit this. I don't know. Katie does start off pretty rough though. Wait, did we ever find out all the votes for this? I kind of forgot about that, actually. No, it doesn't fucking work. Because I remember there were, like, some votes that were, like, left a mystery with this, weren't there? Like, that initial vote. I don't remember who it was. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She survives 11 tribals. Is that really the case? That's quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's kind of insane. I didn't realize she went to so many. And then she's on the right side of the vote for like one kind of like this is kind of a weird one where like they knew that Rachel was getting voted out, but they split on John like intentionally. So I'll consider that her being in on it. 3, 4. So yeah, that's kind of weird spot where like despite her like technically being on the bottom of her original group, she like does vote correctly for whatever that's worth. 4, 5, 6. Not there. 7, but again, like a spot where she's on the bottom. 8. 8. Okay. So she has 8 tribals where she's voting correctly. However, the majority of those are spots where she's technically on the bottom, but she's just voting with the majority. Like, the only votes where she actually has, like, agency of any degree is the Brad vote, these votes, and you can argue here if you're giving her credit for saving herself. So, like, even though it's like an 8-11 record, it's not like that impressive of an 8-11 record. But she does go out in a rock draw. I don't think she's likely to win the game if she got to the end, but she would have had like 3 votes for whatever that's worth. But again, she was like a rock draw away from having a pretty clean path to the end. I think I might land her on the top here. Like, I think the issue I have is the fact that she didn't really have like that strong of an alliance. Like, she really only had her like connection with Sierra that kind of crumbles at a point, and then she had the like alliance with like Tina Ars, and then but that was a pregame alliance. So it's like, again, in terms of like relationships in the game, she's not the greatest, but I think considering the fact that she like was able to get to like a rock draw, and it's like she at least like took some shots in the like she like again was willing to go to a rock draw. She again like was willing to like go for Brad and like split the vote on the John. It's like there's at least like some minor good things. So I think I'll put her in the Tarzan tier, which is obviously indicative of great play. And then actually, I'm kind of thinking about this, like, with her and Tarzan. Like, actually, I think, like, there's an argument she's better, or that Tarzan's better. Like, Tarzan was more voting with the majority than Katie was. Oh, like, okay, oh, is Katie down here then? Yeah, Katie Collins or Tarzan. Again, the long-awaited debate. Like it's more so like it's not really like her versus Tarzan as much as like is it her, like is she closer to like the Edna, like Karen sort of tier, based on the fact that she's never really had like a full on alliance outside the pregame alliance. Which, like, do I give her credit for the pregame alliance? Yeah, fuck it. I'll put her here. I'll leave her here. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't fucking matter, does it? Mary. Mary does not have a say. Mary's a really strange one, right? Like, obviously gets very lucky with the Shot in the Dark play, but like outside that, her game's not like horrible. Like, she survived 2 tribals to even get to that point, even though she's not in the know of what's going on. But I don't know, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So survives 8 tribals. I don't think her voting record's the greatest, right? Like, she doesn't vote correctly at all in the pre-merge. Votes out Charity. Votes out Cedric. Votes out Chrissy. And then that's it. No, votes out Star. So again, that's kind of self-preservation. But either way, it's like 4 out of 8 track record. So that's pretty bad. Imagine Sophie pre-gaming so hard she gets herself out of 54. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that's not a great track record. I at least will give her credit for, again, like, she does survive those first couple votes. Like even though she shouldn't have made it out of the pre-swap phase, she at least like got to that third vote before like needing some sort of safety. Um, but I'm leaning towards moving her down though. The thing is, like, I think Mary actually does play well at the merge. Or like really at the swap. It's like I think her game like here is bad. Like she's really just on the bomb the entire time. Um, yeah, it's again she needs her Shauna Dark here. It's like it's all bad. Um, but once she gets to the swap, it's like she's able to make good relations like David and Eva. Like she's in a pretty good spot there. Post merge, like she's in the majority. Like she's actually in the majority group for a few rounds. But then eventually, like when David gets flipped on, she gets flipped on. Um, but like there was like a decent stretch at a point. Um, I do think it's probably a spot though where I am probably gonna have to dock her here. Like I think she's better than Saul in this year. I think that's for me at least fully the case. I think. I don't know. Maybe is there an argument Saul this year could be lower? Actually, I don't know. I think she's better than Saul this year. Like Saul and this year are both people that like should have theoretically been first boots and kind of got like fortunate to get out of those spots to a degree. Like Mary was never like a first boot option. Um, and like again was able to do good work in getting into like I think like her post merge isn't that different from Saul in this year's. In a spot where I think her pre merge is probably better than them. So like I think she's definitely above Solon this year. Um, though yeah, I think there could be an argument that Solon this year should be below like these people. Um, um, what was I doing Sierra again? Maybe I could go her Sierra. That's actually not the most egregious thing in the world. Because like Sierra, like it's like a spot where like I think Mary's game post swap is Sierra's game. Like it's actually not like that dissimilar. Where like Mary and David are like Sierra and Brendan. Um, it's just that like the pre-merge of Sierra's game is kind of like the early merge of Mary's game. Um, and like obviously Mary has like the rough like very very beginning as part of it, but like outside of that their games are actually like kind of like uh kind of close. What was this? I checked Twitter today. Ashley is going crazy in Chat BCC. Kamu and Haley kissed. No wait, but yeah, what? Kamu and Haley kissed? Is that real? Yeah, I need to get on Chat BCC. Um, he's like, seems like there's a lot of like alumni stuff there happening. You can tell if it's a joke or not. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen an update on that, so I'm not sure, but I don't know. Wouldn't shock me. Um, but I haven't seen that much talk recently about Kamu Haley thing. Um, Sierra or Mary. Um, I think I'll give the edge to Mary. Uh, I think Sierra starts better. I think Mary's like end stretch is better, and I think ultimately I'll give the edge to Mary. Um, now I'm looking at her versus Nick Brown. Actually, I don't know. Like, should the okay? versus Shambo. Maybe I... Okay, Mary... I don't know. Mary's just a weird one, but... Maybe there's a world where I move Mary and Sierra up to here. Or maybe up to here. Like, Sierra at least was in the initial majority group. These people weren't really. I think I'm willing to do that. I think I'm willing to move them up to there. Like, I think the good parts of Sierra and Mary's games are probably better than, like, Christina and Shambo. Is where I'm leaning. What was this? Wait, did that not open? There we go. Between it's one of the best cast gameplay wise in a while. I think it's definitely one of the more active.
Where?
You loved every second of that. It was so obvious. Like, does it have them kissing at some point? No. Yeah, I know they've been like flirty and that sort of thing, but yeah, I haven't seen any talk about them kissing. Jason's the only one that's playing noticeably bad. He's not even in the worst position. To a degree, I mean, I think Meldy's playing pretty bad. Like, Haley has bad, like, social play, at least. I don't know. It's like, I think it's like, there's a lot of sloppiness from the players on the top, too, is kind of the thing. Like, I don't think anyone's playing, like, great on this season. But I think, like, also the floor is, like, higher than a lot of other seasons, though. Yeah, it's like, I think they're all, like, playing, like, some degree of bad, but I think most players also have, like, some degree of good in them, too. Where, like, I think, like, in comparison to, like, Keanu and, like, Kelly last season, it's not to that level, but there's no one, like, yeah, there's no one playing that well either, though. Yeah, it's like Lyric's playing pretty well from the bottom. Kamu's playing decent enough. Again, it's funny that like some of the newbies are playing better than the returning players at this point. Is Ashley guaranteed last in my season ranking? Not necessarily. But I would expect her to be, though. But not necessarily like guaranteed. Well, I think this is fine for now. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Dude, we're not even like, yeah, this is no. How many people have I gone through? I've only gone through like 20 people. 21 people this stream. So that's annoying. But whatever. I'll be honest, I am starting to tire out at this point, but I want to at least get the fucking Kyle. Like, that's where we were fucking meant to be last stream. Like, I gotta at least get to the point where I was meant to end last stream. Lyric Giesling, sure. Nick Myrano and Jamal. I think they're probably moving down, if I were to guess. Actually, like, practically, like, Jamal might... Jamal's kind of bad, though, isn't he? Like, they're both players that I think on paper have a lot of potential, but the reality is that they don't. Like, Nick is someone that, like, again, there were points where he was like doing some good work and like even though like he was actually kind of on the bottom for like most of the season. Like he was technically on the bottom of his original group. He in the post swap was also on the bottom, but he was never being targeted. But he was just like never in the majority group of his tribes. Then like he's like playing pretty well at the beginning of the merge, and then by the end it flips on him. But yeah, it's like I think he probably is dropping a bit here. Like I'm feeling this. I feel like he's kind of like a Saul Nasir style player that just like that has a benefit from the fact that he wasn't going to be the first boot. But I think ultimately he's on that kind of he's on that ballpark. Taylor and Chuckity only does this season. I think Taylor's fine. I don't think she's playing particularly hard. I think Taylor is like a fun personality though. Chuck, yeah, he's not bringing much. I think Yash is a dud. Yeah, Yash is definitely like. I think Yash is one of the bigger duds of the season. I think Yash is probably like the biggest dud of the season, to me at least. Yeah, I think Nick there. Yeah, I can see why Yash wasn't originally on. And then Jamal does go to a decent amount of tribals. He's not really on the in of what's going on for a lot of them, though. Why am I doing this of scrolling? Jamal goes to. Well, he survives 4 tribals. Only votes correctly at 2 of them, and like even this was one that an idol was played, and that was bad. See Yash on every season, sure. Only good thing about Yash, he's giving us Rob's parody video. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Jamal's kind of bad actually. Like looking at it. I think maybe I do keep him with Nick Majorano though. Like he at least by the end did like have a group like around him, but also it's like him losing Jack there. I guess 2 fair is like a bit of like there's unluckiness there for sure. Him losing Jack. Also, he gets kind of unlucky in his boot round, but yeah, I'm kind of feeling like Jamal and Nick probably move down to like this level. I think closer to where like Saul and Nasir are. Where I kind of want to give him like credit for potential, but like again, that's not really what this list is at this point. And like Nick literally doesn't vote out a single fucking person. Jamal like has a again like votes out technically only votes out 1 person. Yeah, I think Nick being there is fine. I'm still like debating a bit with Jamal, but I do think ultimately Jamal being below Nick Brown does make sense to me. So yeah, I think I'm following through with this. I don't think that feels egregious. And again, the thing to give them credit for over Nasir and Saul is the fact that they weren't like first boot options, for whatever that's worth. So yeah, we'll do that for now. We got this tier. He made alliance with Barrett, Drew, and Rick. That will last, surely. Kobe's a bit of a weird one here. So these were like merge boots. yeah, like merge boots that were taken out in like near consensus votes by the end, right? And Kobe, Eric, Cardona, and Elizabeth. Um, all of them don't go to that many tribals either. Is kind of also a thing. Um, like Kobe only goes to 2 tribals, right? It's like that's yeah, that's not great. And like he kind of gets himself kicked out of his own group. It's like yeah, it's not a great track record there. Eric Cardona, I think also goes to 2 tribals, right? At least votes out Yasmin. But like yeah, like I think Eric Cardona and Kobe back to back makes sense, and then Elizabeth goes to a bit more. I think maybe Elizabeth we can give a little bit more credit to. Um, it's still a spot where like I think the end of her game's pretty bad, but like she yeah goes to 1 more tribal than them, and at least does vote in the majority for the 2 that she goes to. So like that's a little bit better. I still think the end of her game's bad, but like I think they're moving down. I think based on our current criteria, we're moving these players down. Again, the question is down to where. They told D they're leaving the crossovers to work with Yash. I can't believe it. Again, Yash is working with the men of the crossovers. I can't believe that he would work with the men. More likely returning Matt or Asia. Probably Asia, but neither. I'm actually even debating like Kobe and Eric Cardona are even better than the Jamal. I mean, they could just be in. Actually, why did they separate them tier wise? I'm trying to remember. Why they have? I guess like okay, actually no, because like Kobe and Jamal. Wait, no, Kobe and Eric. I mean, voted out people. Kind of. But yeah, I think Kobe and Eric being in this ballpark is not egregious there. I think that makes sense. Is Franking too high? But Frank did have a group with like half the people. Yeah, it's like I think them being here feels okay to me. I don't know, like generally, like I don't know. Is there an argument that even these players could be lower? But I don't know if I really want to go that far. Like in terms of their like voting records, it's like what's like is their voting records that much better than like these people? But I guess it's like they at least like had allies at points and they weren't like first boot up. But I guess like these people did too, to a degree. I'm considering it. Like I think these people are together though. I think I'm probably gonna go. Yeah, either way, I think these 4 people are together. Nick, Jamal, Kobe, Eric. It's just a matter of where exactly they are. Kobe versus Eric is interesting in itself. I think Kobe has more like actively bad play, but I think probably also has like more good play also. I think there's like points where Kobe has the right idea of what he should be doing. It's like trying to pick up like Greg and Jen. It's like there is some good stuff from Kobe, but there's also some like really bad stuff. Um hmm. I really don't have that much of a vested interest, to be honest, in that. Um in Kobe versus Eric. Like they kind of have like pretty similar track records. I think I'm gonna go Kobe above. I think is where my gut leans. Like generally I don't see that much of a difference. I do think there's a spot where like there is a chance Jamal's higher than them actually. I think the argument for Jamal was that he was on the initial outs of his starting tribe, where like, and again, I guess technically these people were too, but like they at least like voted correctly in their starting tribe. Um, Jamal didn't, but his post swap kind of recovers that to a degree. To where like I feel like it being closer to something like this feels probably more right to me. And yeah, I think like these being a tier at this point. Makes sense. But again, I think there is an argument that this tier should be lower. Just because it's a tier that like they only like. I guess too, for Jamal goes to 4 tribals. That's like a decent amount. But outside of Jamal, it's like again like Nick doesn't even like only goes to 1 tribal total. Eric and Kobe go to 3. Like it's not like they go to that many tribals, and they're also like never in like a real alliance. But I guess too, for Saul and the Seer aren't. I don't know. I guess there is still that logic there though, that they are just a better version of the Seer and Saul. Um, I think in retrospect, the more I'm thinking about it, I think Sean might just be in a different. Like I think Sean might just be in this tier. Um, So yeah, this is a spot where am I just giving them credit for being more active of players? Um, I guess that's what it feels like, but I don't know if that's what I should be doing at this point. But I think considering there's enough of them, it doesn't feel too like unbalanced, and like it doesn't feel too like I think I can logic it out at least. Um, but yeah, I could definitely see a spot where they probably should be closer to like this ballpark. Um, I feel like that moves some of them too low. Maybe. Let me see this. So it's like it's these people here. So what? I would be moving Saul below Christina. Like that feels a bit off. And like below Venus. And say Jamal would be yeah, I can't do it. I think it's probably fine as is. Actually, Jamal versus Karishma is actually kind of an interesting one. Where like that probably isn't the worst thing. Huh. What if I did this? What does that look like? I don't think that's too crazy. Like, I feel like maybe that's like a closer, like, middle ground. Where like, these are still people that didn't go to too many tribals. Yeah, I think that feels okay to me. And actually, I think we're kind of in a spot where like it's kind of making me consider moving these people down with them at this point. Because at that point, that would like move like Shambo and Christina closer to these people, which I think kind of makes sense also. Let's see. I'm still running through my head of like, is that right? Bruce versus Sean Kniff. Nick versus Sean Kniff. Yeah, I think I'm. I think. Okay, part of it. Okay, part of it feels right. Part of it feels wrong. Maybe Sean and. Like, part of it is like, I feel like Sean and Angela feel better than these two. But I don't know if Christy and Karishma are. I think I'll probably leave it as is. I don't think it's. Yeah, I think I'll probably leave this as is. I don't have that much of a vested interest to change it, I don't think. Okay. So we're there. Then Elizabeth is someone that I think I'm probably just going to have as a bit different than this tier at least. She's probably not too much higher. Like, generally, she's probably just, like, around here. Like, probably Bruce, Nick. Or maybe Sierra, actually. Maybe she's more of a Sierra. Like, she had an initial alliance. Was able to flip over the Jessica Pete vote. But then eventually gets flipped on. Yeah, I'm feeling like she's probably like here. Maybe better or worse than Sierra Reed. Like, she has more gumption. Like, she at least like makes a move on her own. But I think she, like, her confrontations with Carl are not great. Actually, no, I'll put her above Sierra. I mean, is there okay? You know what? Actually, maybe I just have her as the like the end of her game's so bad though, is kind of my issue. Like, I think like she actually like of the people that are here, she probably has like the best moment of them, and the fact that I do think her like being able to like save Lyrsa, pull over like Gabby, Christian, Nick for the just people. Like, I think that's actually like really good play there. But then like everything after that's pretty bad. Actually, I should say everything after that, because like she survives over Natalia, but like I don't know how much credit to give to Elizabeth for that. I think it's more so like she doesn't mess anything up. And like Alec kind of self sabotages. Um, And then the other thing was the other thing. Yeah, her boot is like really, really bad. Maybe that's kind of like here. Maybe that's like Edna Karen. Like her being in more in that ballpark. Or maybe it's like Zoe, actually. Yeah, I think I could make an argument that's Zoe-like. Frank Leaf. Yeah, I think Frank and Leaf together. And maybe Austin, Zoe with Elizabeth, maybe? Austin's kind of a weird one, though. Austin's kind of just like in the middle of nowhere at this point, but. Wait, what? What? Why is that not working? There we go. I think I put Zoe above her, actually. Yeah, I'm thinking like that. Okay, what time are we at? 3:12. I'll be honest, I am running out of steam at this point. Yeah, I don't know how much further I'm going to go, but we'll definitely do this because that's where I wanted to at least get to. We'll try to do a little bit more, but yeah, it's already past 3, so it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow either way, and we'll do more of this. Okay. So this was a point of contention, right? The Kyle being so high, which I think is fair. I do want to look up Kyle's voting record just for the sake of it, because I don't feel like it's actually that bad, but also like he is just not really, like he's kind of just on the bottom of the pecking order for most of the season. And it's like in retrospect, he probably shouldn't be like that much better than like a Ryan Medrano. But yeah, okay. So Kyle is here. Goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Survives 6 tribals. Is in the know of 1, 2. Though this one's like I barely give him credit for this, but still, whatever. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually not bad. 5 out of 6. But again, the grander issues is his positioning in the game. Yeah, he's in a pretty rough spot. He's obviously like a pretty big target towards the end of his run too. I think him taking out Gabe is a really bad move. Then yeah, Ming blindside the first vote's also bad. Yeah, it's when we're like his track record's not awful, but his positioning in the game's pretty bad. So yeah, it's like I do see the argument that. Actually, what was the argument that was being made? I already forgot. From the actual post. Like what was the? Wait, this is the wrong channel. But like I do see some Ryan. All right, guys. Cool. Shut the fuck up. Only started 2 votes naturally. Immune for the rest. Had no real allies. Yeah, around Angela. That's what it was. Which yeah, where's Angela in this? She's like around here. I actually kind of feel like he's worse. Like again, basing around because I still stand by based on what we were using as the criteria before this round. Him being around there is fine, just because again he's good in challenges. Like he's at least like an affable enough guy. I think he'll make it deep most times he plays. But like again, that's more like potential based than like what we actually saw in his game, which is him, yeah, being safe for a lot of it by immunity wins. Him, like, not really having much agency in the game. Really, the only time he does is him making the Gabe move, which I think is bad. Um, and yeah, it's like even there, it's like yeah, if he didn't have immunity, he's probably also like in danger when like Tiana goes home. It's like, uh, yeah, it's like his run is pretty bad. So I think now that we are basing this on more like what we actually saw over like potential, yeah, he was there in the original list. So I think I'm gonna, yeah, I think I'm gonna put him around where Ryan Medrano is. I do think him versus Venus is kind of an interesting debate. I did have him above or like below Venus on my worst players of the new era list. Um, in terms of this list, I can kind of see him going both ways. Yeah, I'm not really sure where I actually land on that. Just because like it's a spot where like, yeah, like what's the tiebreaker here? Because like both have like fairly rough starts. At least Venus was like, or like Venus was almost like a first boot, so like that's worse than Kyle. Um, why did I have Venus above Ryan? What was the argument there? I'm trying to remember. Because like, okay, I think like where I'm kind of settling right now is that I think Kyle is a like one spot above Ryan. Like I feel like Kyle feels like a very Ryan like esque player, but I'm now not 100% sure on where Venus is in comparison to them. Um, to where I could definitely see a spot where like I move Kyle and um, Ryan up above Venus. Or like I think that is kind of where my head is going right now. Um, is for them to be there. And like maybe Venus is like more in a tier with like Say at that point. Kyle and Ryan are here. Maybe something like that. Um, is Kyle really worse than Saul though? I don't think Kyle's worse than Saul. And like maybe Kyle and Ryan are too low in general. Like I mean I think Ryan is someone I definitely dock a lot of points for the fact that he tried to give up. Like he threw the challenge that he was almost voted out in. But like Nasir and Saul were almost first boots. It's like Ryan and Kyle were never almost first boots for whatever that's worth. Um, for like, yeah, it's like I don't think it's that crazy to swap them. Which like obviously goes against what my worst players in new era list is, but I think I am probably just higher on Ryan on this list than I have been before. Um, and then genuinely, I'm kind of like even like this tier. Like I think these players had rockier early games, but they made it. I don't know. Like yeah. Like I think this feels probably more right to me. Is to do something like this. Um. Because at least like Ryan and Kyle did survive some post merge rounds. Um. really, Ryan survived a decent amount of post-merge rounds without immunity. Or like these players, like again, these three were merge boots. Jamal was not too far after that. Maybe there's a world where Jamal joins them. Like maybe have like this tier here, Jamal with them. I don't know if that really matters though. And I don't think that changes the structure of the list really at all. I think it's essentially the same. See, okay, I think an issue I'm seeing now is the fact that I don't know if Kyle is worse than Karishma. Because like Karishma was someone that like wasn't even a big threat and was still targeted, so like that is kind of bad. Sorry, is there? Oh, wait, let me. Maybe I do swap Jamal back to there, but like, what if I did something like this? Like maybe have Ryan and Kyle with Sean Kniff? That's not really a 1-for-1. Yeah, that's not really a pairing though. Maybe there then. Maybe with Nick and Bruce. I'm trying to think of like what the downsides are. Generally, they're in like not actually too far. Yeah, I can kind of see like these 5 even are like not that far apart in the sense that they all were like towards the bottom of their pecking orders, but like still had like deep-ish runs, like at least like made it mid-merge. Despite being in like not great spots by the end of the pre-merge. Like Kyle and Ryan. Actually, Ryan. Fuck. Okay, cool. Hit the mic. Yeah, Ryan's just someone I'm having a tough time dissecting. Because the more and more I think about it, the more I kind of want to move him a little bit higher, which is like kind of funny. I think I'm gonna leave them here. Maybe. I think Kyle. Okay, so I think Nick Brown above Kyle feels fine to me. Like Kyle was someone that like naturally ran out of runway. In a spot where like Nick is someone that I think like his own allies wouldn't have flipped on him in the way, and I guess maybe that's more indicative of the time than anything. But still, it's like I feel like Nick at least had more longevity in the game had things gone a different way than Kyle. I think Kyle's like probably just booed in the spot that he is like every time he like and like most times in that season. Ryan though, I kind of can see the argument of the like split tribal screwing him over, which could like boost him to like above like maybe him with Bruce actually. Like as like players with like kind of like wonky tail ends to their games. Like his early game is probably worse. I mean, like obviously, like again, his like geo boot rounds is pretty bad all around. But this is, I think it's pushing me here. And I'm thinking it's more of a, or maybe it's just all of them together. We can do something like that. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. All right, then Ronald and Eddie, and then we'll see what I want to do after that. All right, Ronald and Eddie. So let's look up Karamo, or fuck me. Well, yeah, Karamo. I'm dumb, dude. Okay, that's how fucking tired I am. So obviously both have like really bad track records, but I do just want to like visualize it. So Reynolds has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tribals he survives. He is in the majority. I actually think Eddie's probably gonna flip with Reynolds through this, but we'll see. He ends up voting correctly 1, 2, debatably. Do I even give him credit for the Philip vote? Like, considering he's still on the bottom, I don't even think I give him credit for that. I think I literally just give him credit for 1. Eddie has 1. Has 1. Dude, that is insane. I kind of forgot how bad that is. Like, he literally only votes out 1 person. And again, Malcolm on the revote, but like, genuinely, he only actually votes out 1 person the entire season, despite making all the way to Final Four. Like, that is insane. But yeah, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so he survives 10 tribals. Okay. I think we're moving them down. Again, I think the criteria for the list has changed to where I think they're moving down. The question is where. Again, these are horrific track records. And it's like, it's a spot where like I gave them credit for being like these like type of guys that are going to do well most seasons. Like they, again, like bring physical strength to the tribe and whatnot. But, yeah. And like, I don't know, yeah, it's just a spot where they just had no like actual power on that season, like at all. Like we're just on in the minority the entire fucking time. Like generally, I'm considering putting them like all the way here, like even below Christina and like Jamie Lynn. It's like, how do you make it that deep into the season and only vote correctly once? Like, that's insane. Like, if anything, actually, like, there's an argument for them being lower. Like, even, like, these people at least, like, voted out somebody. Like, even, like, Natalia voted out somebody. And, like, I think at this point, it's like, I am going to give them the credit for their longevity in the game. Like, again, because they still go to 7 or 10, like, 7 to 10 tribals. Like, that's a lot still. Like, even though they're not voting anyone correctly, like, they're at least, like, surviving those rounds. So, like, I still think I give them enough credit for that to where, like, it still puts them in this ballpark. But, like, that is a horrific track record. Eddie got Malcolm to give him an idol. Like, I guess. Was that great? I don't know. I mean, like, it's fine. Yeah. Like I think it's more so a spot where like Malcolm saw the opportunity to make a move to potentially get Philip out, and part of that plan is just giving Eddie an idol. I don't know how much Eddie like actively did to cause that, but I don't know. Should Katie Collins be higher than Eddie? Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a spot where Katie. Well, Katie's voting more people out, for one. Like, Katie votes out 8 people. Eddie votes out 1. Also, she goes to more tribals than Eddie. Like, she actually survives 11 tribals. Eddie survives 10. Yeah, it's like ultimately, yeah. I think Katie should be. I don't know by how much, but yeah, I think Katie should be higher though. Like generally, like no, like every single person that, like I think this is the last. Like Kobe's the last person to only vote out 1 person, I believe. Okay, I think I think I am gonna settle on they're above that Jamal Kobe grouping for how many tribals they go to specifically. I think it's this tier. I'm kind of like I'm not sure. Like I did have them in the same ballpark as a Kyle, before this. So maybe I could just do that again. Or do I just leave them here? I feel like this is also like not the worst thing in the world. Like even Karishma voted out 6 people. Like Karishma and Eddie went to the same amount of tribals, and Karishma voted out 5 more people than him. Like even Sierra Reed voted out more people than Eddie did. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards just leaving them here, and I am leaning towards Eddie above Reynolds based on the current criteria, just because like Eddie makes it deeper, and like I think is like looked at as less of a threat. Also, probably is like least or less what do you call it? Like less cocky, and I don't know. Like people like him more, for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I think I'm settling on that. I feel like that feels okay to me at this point. He did want to own a dog bar. That is true. That obviously makes him a top tier player. All right, how many people have I gone through this stream? Not a lot, right? 29. That's something. I don't know. Should I do more? I'm pretty tired, but I might try to do a little bit more. Again, this is never getting finished. I'm just gonna be like my entire life from now on. It's just gonna be endless cycle of me ranking players and never finishing this. When we're getting to Mitch, Mitch is still a bit away. I remember I moved Mitch up last time too, and I still stand by it. Yeah, he's like all the way up here. Mitch is like what, top? I'd say like probably top 350. Oh, actually, fuck, top 274. Cool. Fuck. There we go. Above Justin, I think so. Oh no, he's actually not. That's actually very funny. I think Justin's probably moving. I think this tier's probably just moving down. But we'll get to it when we get to it, though. I mean, again, we're still just running through it linearly. I think I'll do this tier and call it a night. I think it's where like this is like kind of like a bulky tier. So we're like, I'll deal with that fucking tomorrow. Wait, we didn't go through Ashley Ashby yet. We haven't gone through Brian Gordon yet. Okay, yeah. Next stream's gonna be a bit of a fucking train wreck too. What the fuck? Whatever. We'll deal with that next stream. Okay, so these are the players that did have like a semblance of control in the game, but played poorly with that control, right? Like, it's like Silas, like, obviously, like, ran his original tribe, but isolated people and then gets swapped to where, like, he does get swap screwed, but, like, it's kind of, like, deserved to. And either way, it was going to happen by the time he got to the merge anyway. Roger Sexton, technically better, in the sense that he survives to the merge instead of getting, like, screwed over by the swap. Runs both of his original tribes, but then also, like, isolates too many people to get to vote out. Joel is taken out the swap after running his original tribe. Though, I mean, like, Joel doesn't, like, isolate people as much, but it's more so, like, he obviously just comes off so domineering, and, yeah, like, to be fair, I think Joel's, like, a little bit different. And Colton's there. I don't know what the fuck to do, Colton. Is Colton our first multi-time player? Well, Bruce, but, like, Bruce doesn't count. And Francesca also. I forgot about Francesca. But either way. Let's see. So I'm currently feeling like these players are at least above. Like, I think Katie and Tarzan are at least above. Also, this is gonna bother me because, like, this has actually been going on all stream, but, like, technically I should do that. Okay. So this is kind of where we're at a bit of a crossroads with the list, because, like, this is kind of the first point where these are players that actually had, like, control in the game. Like, I think most of the players we've run through so far are players that simply did not really have much control at all, really, in the game. I don't know. It's like, how many of these people... I guess, like, maybe you say if this, like, Alexis... Maybe it's just Alexis. I mean, I don't know. It's like, maybe there's, like, a few Angel people that, like, maybe around they had, like, a decent amount of influence. But, like, I think this is the first point where we have, like, people that were, like, running a tribe at, like, a specific point. And, like, were, like, the main figureheads. But also, it's like, yeah, it's like, it's trying to figure out, like, does them controlling their tribes, despite only making it through a couple tribals, surpass the players that, like, made it through a lot? I'm not really sure what I want to do with them. I mean, I guess I could rank just these. I think I would go Silas. Silas versus Joel is actually, like, a bit of a tough one. Like, I think Roger probably is the top of them. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of one of these things where, like, on paper, he's probably the worst of the four, genuinely. But, like, based on the game we saw, like, he's able to, like, maintain his control for, like, a decent while. And he's able to, like, pull over Heidi at the merge, or at the swap, I mean. And, again, like, it's like he's a terrible player on paper, but, like, I think for this, he's fine. And, like, I guess, like, in reality, it's like he probably should be above Frank, right? Like, Frank's right here. It's like Roger, like, Frank was only able to get to a 50-50. Roger was able to control, like, actually, like, lead his original tribe. I guess, like, his boot is worse than Frank's, but, like, but still, it's like, I think, like, Roger above Frank kind of makes sense to me. So maybe I'm just doing that. Maybe I am just leaving them here. Maybe, like, I still think Tarzan and Katie, I feel like, are probably above them based on the current criteria. Dude, there's gonna be a lot of... Dude, this is gonna be a train wreck tomorrow, looking at this. Yeah, some of these people are definitely moving down, but we'll see. But yeah, I think Roger here. What am I doing with Colton? So, like, Roger there, and then Silas and Joel right below, I think is fine. Colton is one that I'm just not 100% sure what exactly I'm doing with Colton. Just because, like, he's... like obviously just has a very strange track record where, like, he's running his original season, though even that, like, had some weird circumstances around it, around, like, him being just handed an idol and whatnot. Like, obviously also the fact that he's, like, a very questionable person. He quit twice. That is true. Jeff Probst confirmed it. But yeah, he quit once, and, like, his Blood vs. Water game was, like, pretty abysmal, but it's not like he had, like, that much going for him coming in that season anyway. But yeah, Colton's someone that I'm kind of willing to... Okay, cool. Fuck me. I am willing to drop him a bit, but I also... I don't know, because, like, he technically does control 3 votes on his first season. So, like... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just leave him here. Maybe I do just keep this tier together. Like, maybe I put him here. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I put him... No, actually, I think he's with Roger. Yeah, I think it's something like this. I think it's Roger, Colton, then... Like, Roger and Colton, like, together. Like, I actually think maybe Colton... we'll debate that. But, like, yeah, I think it's these two and then these two. So, yeah. All right, let's piece it. So, like, Silas versus Joel. Actually, something else I need to double check. Just make sure... Okay. Just make sure there's no, like, gaps anywhere. So, yeah. Silas versus Joel. I think Silas had more of a, like, rational state of mind in the game. I don't know. Like, Joel, like, I just, like, what the fuck was Joel doing? And, like, it's funny that it worked. Like, it's like he somehow was able to control his tribe and, like, technically was still, like, running things by time to swap. But it's like, I don't get how, considering it's like you're just, like, making these, like, crazy moves for, like, no fucking reason. But, like, it's working out. But then he's just, like, immediately taken out with the swap. I think I am leaning towards him being higher than Silas. I don't know. Like, I mean, like, then again, Silas is also a rapist. So I'm like, maybe that's also the thing to dock him here for. Joel fitting with Big Brother. Generally, Joel is kind of like... He is kind of like Devin Shepard-esque. Maybe not even Devin Shepard. Maybe like... Actually, no, not even that. Generally, he's better than Devin Shepard. for whatever that's worth. He's like Devin Shepard if Devin Shepard actually had, like, influence early on. Like, if, like, Devin Shepard, like, actually got, like, Zach out. He's Rick Devens. I mean, I don't know if I'll go that far. But, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, Big Brother Rick Devens, maybe. Okay, and then where are we at? We're at Roger versus Colton. That's a tough one. Generally, I think that's a very tough one. Like, because, like, Colton, obviously, he's a 2-time player, but I don't really get much from him in his reappearance. We also don't really see the end of his game, but, like, I would suspect he's just the merge boot. I think I'm gonna lean Colton higher. I think I'm gonna go Roger then Colton. And then let me think through Katie and Tarzan before we end. Which, yeah, we'll end here. This is a mess to where we'll deal with that tomorrow, which I will be back tomorrow. Why did that change so much? How much smaller does it end up being? Is that too small now? Wait, why does that make it big? Okay, dude. Okay, I just need to... Yeah, I'm just not going to bother. We'll just leave it like that. That's fine. Yeah, all right. Katie versus... no, Katie and Tarzan versus Colton. That's what I was trying to debate. Like, they were initial... They had alliances at a point. They got... Because I think the thing that's in my head right now is, like, why are they so much higher than these people? Which, like, I guess with Tarzan, it makes more sense. With Katie, it's like... Like, am I giving Katie too much credit for, like, the tail end of her game? Like, maybe. Estimate time for tomorrow, probably the same as today. Yeah, I would say, like, midnight. Sometime between midnight and 1, I'll probably start. And it'll probably just be like today's stream. Hopefully I get more done tomorrow. That would be cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to settle on this. Like, generally, I think Katie might be too... Because, like, Katie's probably better than some of these people. So, yeah, I think I'll keep Katie where she is for now. Maybe we'll adjust things tomorrow. But, yeah, I think for now this feels okay. Do I keep these numbers here? I think I might, even though they're not that... yeah, I might as well, right? I think I might as well until we're done. Just for sake of, like, if I ever need to compare them again for whatever reason. Yeah, this is going to be a train. I can already tell this is going to be such a fucking train wreck. But we'll deal with it. Yeah, we just need to get to, like somewhere around here, I feel like, is where it starts to get a bit easier. And I say that and then it won't, but, like definitely by the light blue tier. Like, when we get to the light blues, I think that's when it really becomes easier. But we really need to get past the yellows in particular. Like, yellows and light greens. I think those are, like, the hardest parts of this. And oranges. But anyway, whatever. I've seen the story before, yeah. Yeah, again, I say this, yeah, I'm probably going to be here in, like, 2 weeks still doing this. So, we'll see. But yeah, we'll end for tonight. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, again, that's just kind of where we're at. I'll try to be here every day until I'm done with this. That is the intention now. Again, maybe there's a point here or there where, like, I'll take a day off because, like, again, this is seeming like it is gonna take a bit. Like, obviously, like, in an ideal world, I have it done within a week. I would not be shocked if it still takes me like another 2 weeks or something. When the full ranking gets recorded, will I go into the process of how I put the list together? What do you mean by that exactly? Like, will I, like, detail every little thing I did? Not really. I mean, like, I think I'll, like, plug the VODs of this. Maybe at the, like, a very beginning, maybe I mention just, like, how many different, like, versions of things I did. And, like, I'll obviously mention, like, how many hours it took and that sort of thing. Or, by the way, I have been keeping count now. I do have a count. Before this stream, we're at 114 hours. So that's something. But yeah, like, that stuff, I'll mention that at the very beginning. But like I'm not gonna do like a full like in-depth like it's like I'm not gonna talk about for like more than like a minute probably. But at least like mention it. All right. Again, I'll be back tomorrow. Again, just same thing. Again, probably be here around midnight and work on this for a few hours, and we'll see where we get. Again, hopefully I can finish this at some point in my life. That'll be cool. But anyway, till tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Whatever. See you tomorrow.